Harris's planned visit to the southern border in Arizona today is a sign of desperation on the part of her campaign. Mr. Trump says it was Harris and President Biden who threw the border wide open to criminal illegal aliens and deadly drugs.
The damage was done over the first 3 years. They're trying to do anything to make it look better because it doesn't poll very well for them, but it polls very well for me.
Mr. Trump says if Harris was serious about securing the border, she and Joe Biden would not have tossed out his secure border policies in the first place. The Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge has showed a cooling of price pressures. That's clearing the way for the possibility of more rate cuts, and that has stock futures higher now. The Dow futures are up 82 points ahead of the opening bell. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60-plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its head-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
10 years later, the families of 43 students abducted from a teacher's college in southern Mexico are still desperately seeking answers.
The mothers of the 43 missing students read their names during a painful anniversary on Thursday, marking 10 years since the students were abducted. The students went to a town called Iguala to steal buses, a common way they obtained transportation. They were attacked by a local drug gang in cahoots with local, state, and federal authorities. The Inter-American Commission on Human Rights has had experts in Mexico for several years to help in the investigation, but says there's been a pact of silence in identifying the perpetrators and those who cover for them. I'm Donna Water.
Hungarian Prime Minister Orban says his country always has and always will defend itself against foreign aggression, responding to a suggestion by a close aide that Hungary wouldn't have fought a Russian invasion as Ukraine has done. Townhall.com. Eating in is in and eating out is out.
That's the message that inflation squeezed consumers have been sending to fast food companies and other restaurants. Meanwhile, food producers are benefiting from more palatable prices in grocery store aisles. Inflation has been easing broadly for more than a year now, and it's been cooling faster for grocery items since the middle of the year. The shift has been weighing on McDonald's, Olive Garden owner Darden Restaurants, and similar chains. Orlando-based Darden reported a 1% sales drop at restaurants open for less than a year. The decline was more severe at 2.9% at the Olive Garden chain. July was especially weak. McDonald's reported a 1% drop for the same sales measure during the second quarter, compared with an 11.7% jump a year prior. I'm Bernie Bennett.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams could make his initial court appearance today on charges of accepting illegal campaign contributions and taking bribes. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me. Mike Winters.
It's him.
It's me.
Happy Friday, everybody. That's right. We made it. Woo!
It is Friday.
It doesn't feel like Friday, though. It feels like we're just getting started.
It feels like, yeah.
Like this whole week has been a Monday.
Yeah, because Fair Preview goes today. We got Football Friday. We got Red Dirt Black Gold. We got the Boxing Hall of Fame.
Yes.
We got the bevy of remote.
We
got
do
all kinds of things this week.
We're going to have a real Hatfield-McCoy situation going on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just right across the street from each other. It's going to be fun to watch. See what happens.
Dueling hot dogs.
I asked him last time, I'm like, do you guys like just stand here and just like smile and wave and talk just horrific smack to each other?
Yeah, it's just like that. Occasionally they throw rocks.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, we do have a busy weekend.
Yes.
Here, so, but football tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we will have all the action covered here for you. For our folks down south, Artesia taking on Lovington. That game will be on 990 AM KSVP and live streaming video KSVPTV.com. They're in Lovington for that one, I believe, right? Yeah. Of course, Roswell here at home tonight. We'll have that game for you right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. You can also catch video of that game live streaming KSVPTV.com. Got our Rockets on the road traveling to Gadsden.
God help us all. That has been the challenge of the week.
Well,
game.
we are going to bring you that game.
Yes.
It was a bit of a lot of balls of juggling and things a moving and things a shifting.
It was a real steeplechase to get here. And I say that because steeplechase is the most unnecessary sport known to man. You're going to make me jump a hurdle and some water? Fine, we'll get it done, okay? That's what I'm saying. We'll get it done.
I call it just getting someplace. But anyway,
and we got it done.
We did. We're gonna have Keith Dunlop. He's gonna be in Gadsden. He's gonna be calling the game for us. We're going to have it on the radio on our sister station, 106.1 FM Firo. We will have video as well. Roy will be traveling with Keith to bring you video of the game as well. So we'll have that for you tonight. Kickoff for all three games is at 7 p.m. this evening. Pre-games will start around 6:30, 6:45, depending on the broadcast.
Nice.
So we'll have it all for you. And then, of course, congratulations, Cowboys. You got the win over the Giants.
Yay!
Last night.
Turns out all you guys need, no rest. Just no rest, back to back.
Or just play the Giants.
Or just play the Giants. That's true too.
But so the Cowboys fans happy this morning.
Yes,
they're back in the hunt with a win. So
that was a meme that was sent around to our group text yesterday. Say the line, and it's just Bart in a Cowboys hat going, "This is our year. This is going to be our year." Everybody, yay! It's not, though.
Although, I've behaved because I want to start talking smack.
Of course.
But I can't because my team, I don't trust them yet.
But you're close.
I don't trust them yet.
Oh, you're close.
I've been RG3'd. Yeah. I've been 20 years of...
But you know what feels even better is just being in that position and having them expect it from you.
Yeah.
And don't throw it. Just have them expect it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, what are you going to say? It's like, no. You've said it to yourself. It's fine. You've done the work. You've done the work, so I don't have to.
I just walk in. No punts in 2 games. See you later.
There was this is sort of related, but years ago when the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation 1 were coming out, it was the E3 Games Expo. The Sega was up first, and they gave this huge presentation on how the Saturn is next generation 32-bit technology, and yada yada, and it's out right now for the price of $399. You can get it right now. The CEO of Sony walked on stage, looked at the audience, said $299, and walked off. It was the most baller move I've ever seen in my entire, just $299. And then just left. $100 less. That's a baller move.
Wow, that kind of reminds me of a clip I saw yesterday because I've never watched the show. So, but I saw a clip that made me kind of giggle. I guess Dancing with the Stars is going on right now.
Yeah.
And a lady was kicked off this week. Oh, it was. I think it's the lady that's that Netflix documentary about the fake heiress.
Oh,
you know the one I'm talking. I think it's the same lady. Well, apparently she got on Dancing with the Stars. I guess she didn't go to prison or she's done with prison. Right. I don't know what happened there. But she was on Dancing with the Stars, and I guess and she got kicked off. And at the end, they're like, well, what do you take from this experience? And she just said, nothing. And it was like, all right, good night, everybody.
No. I remember we talked about this in my friends group. Okay, so here's what happened. Here's what happened. She was arrested for theft.
Okay. This is not the one on the documentary.
Yes, this is the same one.
Okay, the one where she got millions of dollars off of
she
other
was
millionaires.
Arrested for theft, for stealing money, for basically.
It's a good documentary if you watch it.
For stealing. So when they asked her, what did you take away from this? In her head, she heard, what did you take from our set?
All right.
And she immediately got on the defensive and said, nothing. I didn't. Look, check my locker. I didn't take anything.
Look, I think my pockets.
That's awesome. I love that. That's like Winona Ryder if you run into her just outside of that shop at the mall. It's like, hey, have you, what did you take away from the past year? Nothing. No, why? What have you heard?
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, do you think she still gets eyeballed at stores to this day?
You know why I think she does now is because we've just hit that era where 2000s nostalgia has started resurfacing.
Well, Beetlejuice is back in the lexicon again.
Well, Beetlejuice was 90s.
I know, but
I would say.
But Winona Ryder is back in the lexicon because of that. Doing that in Stranger Things, I guess.
But I've seen at least two different timeline or flashback, to the 2000s pieces talking specifically about the Winona Ryder incident.
Okay.
And so I think it's becoming more known to a new generation.
Okay.
Like, oh, she did that?
She was a bad girl.
Right, she was that. It also sort of started coming up again around the Stranger Things
when she
premiere, when she kind of
because she was kind of under the radar for a while. She didn't, or at least she wasn't in anything that a lot of people saw until Stranger Things hit.
Because she was completing her community service hours.
Well, no, because she did a lot of those comedies there with Vince Vaughn and like that little clique of people, Kevin James.
Right.
Like there was a couple of those comedies that were kind of dark she was in.
She did, I think she did a lot of.
Oh, she did an Adam Sandler movie, the Big.
That's right,
Big
she
Daddy,
did.
or was it Big Daddy?
No,
not
she
Big
was
Daddy.
in
the Mr. Deeds.
Mr.
That's
Deeds.
the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
But yeah, and then I think she did like a lot of probably indie stuff. Generally speaking, celebrities will say we do the big pieces so we can afford to go off and do passion projects.
Right.
So we can live off the big budget money and then go do indies.
See, y'all idiots went and saw that stupid George Clooney Batman movie so long ago, and now we got all these stupid movies he's got out there.
You did this to you.
It's you people watch that god-awful Batman movie.
I did see a pretty funny clip, though. It was an opener to an episode of Jimmy Kimmel. And it was George Clooney and Brad Pitt sitting at a table. Jimmy Kimmel walks in, and he slides them a briefcase full of money, and they open it, and he said, okay, we'll take care of it. Don't even worry about it. It's taken care of. And then Jimmy slides him a picture, and it's Matt Damon. And they said, you know what? We're going to do this one for free.
Well, Pitt's got a movie coming out with.
Yeah, I think they're doing a.
Is it Clooney or is it's another big name?
It's Pitt, Clooney, because they're doing like a old guys.
Is DiCaprio in it too? Or
probably.
I feel like it's
because
like
I've seen the trailer for
the heartthrobs of 15 years ago or 20 years ago or all buddy. It's like the Expendables for hunky people.
Right. That's called, is it Wolves? Yeah, okay, yeah, it's Apple TV.
Okay.
Yeah, starring George Clooney and Brad Pitt. Okay. Wolves is the name of the show.
WOLFS.
Two rival, Wolves.
That's not even grammatically correct.
Not wolves, wolves.
That's not grammatically correct.
Two rival fixers, George Clooney and Brad Pitt, cross paths when they're both called in to help cover up a prominent New York official's misstep. Over one explosive night, they'll have to set aside their petty grievances and their egos to finish the job.
Nice. It's a movie, right?
I believe so, yes.
Actually, there's that other thing that Vince Vaughn's got on Apple Plus. It's a TV show that looks kind of interesting.
You know, it was a rough start for Apple Plus, but they're coming out with some good stuff.
They do have a couple shows.
They got that Tim Apple money to play with, so you know.
Well, it's some of their shows are a little bougie.
Yeah, that's the problem. It feels like Apple TV's whole thing is we're better than you.
Yeah, a little bit, but they also have Ted Lasso. So I mean,
in fact, and I'll tell you, over the 2 seasons that I've watched it, they've put out, the After Party is fantastic.
Yeah.
And every episode is told in a different style.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
And there's that other show which I hope they do another season or two of. I can't remember the name of it, but it's got what's his name from How I Met Your Mother, Jason Segel.
Mm-hmm.
It also had
that was
Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
where they're
therapist.
psychiatrists.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good show.
And that
Shrinking
Shrinking is what it's called.
Yeah.
That is a Bill Lawrence show.
Well,
in that same vein, if you like his type of dramedy, Scrubs, Cougar Town,
Ted Lasso, yeah,
that style of writing.
Well, they locked him in an Apple Plus, and those 2 shows are 2 of my favorites.
Although I've heard, and if they put it out on Apple Plus, I'm going to be so mad. I'm like big mad. But I have heard rumblings of a Scrubs reboot, of a full cast Scrubs reboot.
I feel like if that's going to happen, that's where it's going to happen, though.
Everybody's available.
Yeah.
Like, you know what's crazy?
Well, shoot, I mean, was it T-Mobile or is basically playing on Scrubs with the 2 guys doing all the commercials together?
That's their best friends. So
I know,
that's
but
gig.
We know. I think Scrubs every time I see those 2 together.
100%.
You know?
It's like Peter, your black scrubs and white scrubs.
But they're known for their chemistry created on Scrubs.
Absolutely. That's where it started.
Yeah.
But so I'm really, really looking forward to that if that's the case. But I'm hoping it would go on an ABC related property like a Disney Plus.
Sure.
That I'm already paying for, you know?
Right.
Swing for what I got, okay?
Well, here's how I got Apple Plus. Buy an Apple product, they give it free for a year, and then you just don't turn it off.
But no. No.
That's how I got it. All right, let me give you the rundown. I better get the hour going.
Aye.
We're going to replay our interview we had with Crystal Noble this hour. She joined us yesterday. Give us an update on what's happening at the Humane Society. Of course, we recap the big comedy relief event last Friday night, 1 week ago. In the 8 o'clock hour at 8:15, we're going to replay our interview with Adrian Ruiz. He joined us earlier in the week to talk about Ranch Rodeo out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair next week, which will be Friday and Saturday, 1 week from today. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we'll keep the fair rolling. Leslie Robertson will join us to talk Eastern New Mexico State Fair, just general. You know, times, tickets, costs, where to go, don't forget parades here. There's just general fair advice, fair information. And then we'll round out and finish off the show about 9:50, checking in with Jeff Gunn over at the New Mexico Military Institute. And he'll give us a preview of what's on tap for NMMI sports this weekend.
Very good.
Plus, we'll have all of your features that include newses of the local and national variety, some of our business features, Wall Street Business Update, sports reports, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. But first, a look at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got a good-looking weekend coming up. Temperatures will be a little on the warm side. We have that strong high-pressure system staying put. Doesn't look like it'll be moving anywhere anytime soon. We're expecting low to mid-90s for the afternoon high today, and will stay sunny. Overnight, low 60s and clear, and then right around the 90-degree mark both Saturday and Sunday. A little bit breezy and sunny. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 60 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 53%. Winds currently out of the north at 3 miles per hour. Sunny, and as Steve mentioned, a little on the warm side this weekend. Expect a 95 for a high today. So that last little hurrah saying, still New Mexico, don't go away summer. Kind of one of those moves. Winds will be out of the north today at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Expect an overnight low of 62. East winds at around 5 miles per hour. For you Saturday, sunny skies, a little cooler tomorrow compared to today. 92 for a high. Northeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies. Overnight low of 60. Winds will be out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Sunny and 91 for Sunday. Winds will be out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. And when you're back at school and work on Monday, expect sunny skies and 95. Well, actually, no school on Monday because it is Fair Day. So day one, Fair Parade, all that, 95 on Monday. But then we drop down in the 88 on Tuesday, then back up into around 90 for Wednesday, Thursday next week. All right, 7:22. We're going to take a quick 2.5-minute break. We'll have your Lagrone and Ballard Remembrance here, and then we'll play our interview with Crystal Noble from the Humane Society. Don't go away.
Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and Lagrone Funeral Chapel have been celebrating life for over 90 years. Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory celebrates and remembers Donald Burden Sr. passed away September 14th. Rosary will be Saturday, October 5th, 9:30 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church, with Mass following the Rosary at 10 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church. Virginia Gibson passed away September 14th. Visitation is Monday, September 23rd, 4 to 7 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Rosary will be Tuesday, September 24th, 9:30 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church, with Mass following the Rosary at 10 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church. Letty Lee Bagwell passed away September 15th. Visitation is Saturday, September 28th, 10 a.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Service following visitation at 1 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Elizabeth Stefano passed away September 8th. No services are scheduled at this time. Oturo Ornelas passed away September 16th. Visitation is Sunday, September 22nd from 4 to 9 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Rosary to follow Sunday, September 22nd, 6 to 7 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Kelly Keith passed away September 9th. Graveside service will be Thursday, September 26th, 10 a.m. at McBride Veteran Cemetery. Lagrone Funeral Chapel celebrates and remembers Peter Morris, passed away September 9th. Visitation will be Monday, September 23rd, 10 a.m., with service following the visitation, 11 a.m. at Lagrone Funeral Chapel. John Groover passed away September 11th. No services are scheduled at this time. And Joanne Worthington passed away September 12th. No services are scheduled at this time. This has been today's Remembrance, brought to you by Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and Lagrone Funeral Chapel.
The perfect pair of glasses is a lot closer than you think. The Eyesight in Roswell, Carlsbad, and Hobbs is now accepting new patients 5 and up. The Eyesight accepts all VSP vision plans for full contact lens and glasses, as well as Medicare, Davis, and more. Designer frames from Maui Gyms, Oakley, and so much more. The Eyesight in Roswell, Carlsbad, and Hobbs offers complete eye care, including pre- and post-cataract and LASIK, as well as glaucoma testing. The perfect pair is waiting for you at the Eyesight in Roswell, Carlsbad, or Hobbs. Clearly the best in sight. The end of summer sales event is on now at Roswell Honda, with savings across the lot on a blazing hot selection of vehicles. Get the job done with nearly $8,000 off 2024 Honda Ridgeline, now just $699 a month, or a 2024 Honda Accord, now just $499 a month. In the service department, take $10 off an oil change, 10% off walk-in parts, and buy 3 tires, get the 4th one free. The end of summer sales event is on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
I can join. And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, back from the Roswell Humane Society, Crystal Noble with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, big win. I would say last Friday night was a huge success. I haven't seen numbers or anything, but in terms of the event itself, we had a good crowd, and
we did.
Everybody did a great job. Food was good. The gift baskets were amazing. Everyone that donated, they did awesome stuff. And,
they did.
Everything everything from my perspective seemed to be a huge success.
I was so stressed out about that whole thing, and then afterwards, I was like, "Oh my God, it is done! It is done." We had a huge turnout. We're hoping to do it again in maybe a year or so.
Okay.
And so learn from the first one and move on to the next.
Bigger, better, stronger. A second annual, maybe we could call it.
Yeah.
Well, very good.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we got some good money raised, but the Humane Society, if you want to keep donating, please do not stop donating.
Yes, please.
Either money or even litter, food donations for the pets and things like that. All of that very beneficial. And don't forget, they have that amazing thrift store. So if you've got items, furniture, clothing, collectibles, appliances, whatever, reach out to the Humane Society. They can use those donations as well, too.
Yeah, speaking of the thrift store, today they're doing everything in the back room except Halloween half off.
Okay.
They have a lot of appliances, ranging from in-wall stoves.
Okay.
In-wall ovens, double ovens.
Okay.
They have
you come down and see if those sizes match up for you, and maybe they'll slide right into your space there.
They have a fireplace, a propane fireplace. Very beautiful.
Nice. You'll appreciate that here in a month or two.
Like up to my chin. It's tall.
Okay.
And big.
All right. That'll come in handy here in about a month or two.
It will.
Mm-hmm.
A gas stove for like when you have the center islands, and then you just have the stovetop in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a gas stove.
Okay.
They have a really small, cool wine cooler. So that way if you need to chill some wine and you don't want to chill like tons of bottles, you got a little cooler for it. They still have a few flat screen TVs. They've got a lot of furniture donated recently. I saw a big fluffy couch and ottoman, or chair and ottoman.
Oh, cool.
Like a double stuffed chair. They've got a bunch of comforter sets, so if you're expecting some company and you want some new bed sheets and whatever, bed frames in various sizes from twins to king size. You want to decorate for the holidays, they've got a bunch of throw pillows. And now that school dances are kicking off, and I think we still have Roswell High's homecoming coming up.
Is that coming up this weekend?
I think so.
Yeah.
They have a ton of formal wear for girls and boys.
Okay. Plus, it is, holiday season. Sometimes there's, holiday
occasions.
parties and events where you
Yes.
need to get a little more formal. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And then for the schools, they have a ton of Goddard and Roswell High football jerseys.
Okay.
And
show your colors out at the Wool Bowl on Fridays.
Yes, and then they have a lot of football wear and attire for the football players.
Okay.
So they got the pants, they got the jerseys, they got the pads. They still have a bunch of cleats.
Okay.
All brand new, donated, brand new, never used, never
wow.
worn.
So
Various sizes. So if you need some,
there might be some little league teams that could use, depending on the sizes. There
Yes.
could use some of that equipment too. I know.
or you need a couple of backup pair of pants because you got a little rough in your last football game.
It is football. Things get torn, things get ripped. That's what happens.
They have a lot of clothes. They always have a lot of clothes. Clothes is their number one
a
thing.
lot of brand new stuff,
Mhm.
still with tags on it in some cases.
Yeah, that's where the majority of my clothes come from.
I tell, this is something and a tip. If you're a young person straight out of school, college, and you get your first, young professional's job, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, I got to upgrade my wardrobe because now I got to wear business attire every day. That is an extremely expensive upgrade right there.
It is.
Go to the Humane Society thrift store. You're going to find dresses, slacks, shirts that are very much appropriate, that are most of them brand new or in excellent condition, and instead of paying $50 for a shirt, you're going to pay about $5 for a shirt.
And if you need dress shoes, like depending on like how fancy you want to be, they always have a ton of nice dress shoes, slip-ons, heels, boots. They just have a ton of stuff, and a lot of people. Okay, and I'm guilty for this. Oh, hey, that's on sale. I'll get it. Don't pay attention to the size. It doesn't fit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it doesn't fit has its own category in the closet, and then eventually I'm like, I got to clear out some space in the closet so that it doesn't fit new with tags, goes to the thrift store.
Yeah. And or the other thing is you want to will it. Like the price is so right, you're like, I can slip into that medium. And then you get home and it's like, yeah, wishful thinking on that one. That's and then there's the other occasion, and this is where I'm starting to find myself, and it's just because of where I'm at, where now I have jeans and things that are 3 sizes too big for me, that are perfectly good jeans. They're just, now I wear 33s and these are 36s, and that's kind of, and
we change sizes quite often.
Yeah. And so there's always the back hit. I'll keep 1 pair just in case, but you don't need to keep 6 pairs of pants that are no longer your size anymore.
Right. So if you have stuff that you would like to donate, call down, talk to Camille or whoever answers the phone.
Make sure it is clean and serviceable. Like we said, if the pants look worn or the shirts are worn, please don't. We want the clothes to look.
If they're the holey, that's not the fashionable holey. Just throw those ones away.
Now, certain rags and things might be useful for other purposes, but it's clothing. No.
Yes. And if you have some items that you think, might not do well at the thrift store and you want to donate it for bedding, we do use those items for bedding.
Call and ask.
So call and ask and say, hey, would this be something you can use?
Yeah, they're all about making second lives for things if it can do that. Absolutely.
And we do have a lot of people that call and ask us if we can use pillows on the kennel side.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we don't, just because if they start destuffing it in the middle of the night and they ingest it, that can cause bad problems. So
and unfortunately, because of their environment, they're more than likely stressed, and chewing is like a number one way to satiate stress.
Yes. So we tend to veer away from stuffed items and look for items, if they shred a blanket, okay, that's easily disposable. If they shred, a sheet or a shirt or something, that's fine. But we try to steer away from things that they can ingest.
That fill in the pillow type stuff is just not good for them.
Right.
Whereas the cloth and stuff's not as detrimental to them. They don't eat it as much. And
no, the majority of the times that's what they spit out. But for whatever reason, it's just like in the dog toys. When they rip that little hole, that stuffing has got something.
Well, I'm guessing instinctually they think it's meat. You know what I mean? Like instinctually they think they just scored a kill and that's food. I'm guessing. I don't know. I think deep down there's something in the just the DNA that's telling them that.
I laugh because last night 2 of my dogs were playing tug war with a toy. And it ripped, and so some stuffing got into the Great Dane's mouth, and that was, when you see a dog, they get peanut butter stuck in the roof of their mouth. How they do that weird face. Well, he did not like the texture of that stuffing in his mouth, and he was just having a meltdown because it was stuck. He couldn't get it out. And so I'm trying to help him get it out of his mouth, all the while the boxer's on the floor trying to eat the stuffing. And I'm like, no, stop. And I'm like, you spit that out. You give me that. And he's like, and I was like, oh. And so he ran into my sister's room.
That's the beauty of a pet ownership right there.
Yeah, so I run in there and I'm like, come here. And so he's like trying to dig at his mouth, and I get it out of his mouth, and he's just like, oh my God. And then the boxer's like walking, but he's like, his cheeks are full of stuffing. He's like, eh. And I'm like, oh man. So I have one who absolutely freaks out when he feels the stuffing, and the other one's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's dogs. I mean, that's just pets in general. They bring that, and that's the fun part of being a pet, because you have those comic nights and the relief, and they bring entertainment. That's what's the beauty of being a pet owner, right?
It is, and you get to come home like after bad days at work, and they're home waiting for you. They're like, hey, the light of my day, and you're like, oh. But cats, dogs in general, they greet you when you come home because they're happy.
Yeah. It's funny. Last night we had with our 2 cats. We had it's weird. We had one cat. Our cats like different types of food. Like one, like we of our 2 cats. Whenever you cook breakfast sausage in the house, one cat, Bella, our black and white, goes nuts. The other one really could care less. But you bust out tuna fish, and our tortoiseshell, Hannah, is straight up gangsta. And the other one acts interested, like it forgets it doesn't like tuna. Because the other one says, "Oh, what do you got?" And then you give it to her, and she just spits it out, throws it on the ground, and then the gangster comes and grabs it up. But we just had one of those last night where Kim fixed some tuna, and it was that all over again, where Bella's like, "Yeah, I want some," and then you're not going to eat it, and then sure enough, she.
That's funny because out of every dog in the house, Titus is the pickiest.
Uh-huh.
And it's so weird, for a dog that's so tall that he could literally get anything off the cabinets he wants. He's the one dog that I could trust to leave any food out except cheese and it not get touched. He'll sniff by it, but he will not take it. Now, if I open cheese, he is the first one in the kitchen. He's like, "Hey,
how you doing?
Hi."
That smell gets him every time.
So, that's mine, right? And so when I have to give him medicine, I stick it in, I get like the cheese cubes at Sam's. And so I stick it in the cheese cubes. Works every time.
Yeah.
Boxer? No. He picks it out of the cheese and spits the pill out and then eats the cheese. And I'm like, God dang it.
I had a dog who did that move. We would take, wasn't a pill taker. And she would, every time you put in bread, you put in bologna, whatever, it didn't matter. She'd chew around and spit it out. You had to physically throw it down her throat to get her and then seal her mouth till she swallowed.
If you have that pill and you're offering it to another dog, the boxer thinks it's a treat.
And then good with it.
And then he'll eat it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man.
Unfortunately, I didn't have a second dog at the time to do that effect on him. But
yeah. But my sister, she's staying with us, and she has 3 dogs. She has a Great Dane and then 2 pit mixes. And so it's funny because her Great Dane has allergies.
Okay.
And so does one of her pits. She has irritable bowel or something, IBD. And so they have to have medicine. So instead of just giving those to the medicine, my sister will get a spoonful of like canned food or something and give something to everybody so everybody gets medicine.
Sure.
Well, Honeybee is, tiny. And so as soon as my sister, she won't say medicine, she'll just get up and she'll walk to the kitchen. And then as soon as she hears the spoon click the bowl, Honeybee shoots out from wherever she's at and she runs and she stands in between the dogs. And then as my sister goes to give the spoonful, she jumps up to grab it. So we call her the little demon dog because she's like, "No, that's mine. Everything is mine.
I get it all."
and it doesn't matter what it is. Honeybee's like, that is mine. And I'm like, you were not taught to do that. You need to stop it.
Well, that's instinctual little dog, big attitude mindset.
And it's so funny because, the Great Danes, they lay down to play with her.
Mm-hmm.
Even them laying down, they're still towering over her. But she's like, I'm the little dog here who's got all the big dogs in control. Everybody lays down to play with her.
Yeah. Well, and that's just it. At the end of the day, even though the dogs are big and powerful, and then you look at this little one, but you put the heart, they're all the same inside. That little dog doesn't know it's a little dog.
No. And it's funny because when I was homesick this week, I had the little dog here, and then one of my sister's pit bulls, Blake, she was laying on the side of me, and then the boxer, Toby's laying on my legs, and I'm like, God, I really can't move if I needed to. And then I had the other boxer over here, or pit over here, Jasmine, so... And then the 2 Great Danes were laying on the couch. They're just looking at me like, yeah, we know there's no room over there. But when you're sick, they know, and they don't.
Oh, yeah.
They try to comfort you. And
yeah, they do it
it's
every
funny,
time.
when I was cold, man, I had a dog blanket. It was so good. And then when I was hot, I was like, okay, y'all got to get up.
Now it's, I'm good. Yep. I do it. When I have those days, I get on my chair and Cat right every time. I mean, if I go home for lunch, I'll sit down for a few minutes, watch some TV or something. And she's usually in my lap. That's kind of every time. Where she's, if it's Kim and I, she's mostly in Kim's lap most of the time. But, certain times of the day, it doesn't matter. Even if Kim's home, she's in my lap. If we're both home during lunchtime, in the summer, Bella will be in her lap, except for at lunchtime. She comes over and hangs out my lap. And then it's like, no, it's that time, Dad. It's lunchtime. This is where I'm at lunchtime.
Sit down, mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like routine to her. And so, but when I'm sick, she does, I've noticed where and that's the few rarity times where both cats will be in my lap at the same time. Usually they tolerate each other, but then one gets mad because the other's taking the spot or one's getting more than the other, and then the fight ensues and someone gets thrown off. But when I'm sick, I've had it where they both coexist.
Yep. And it's nice, when you're used to, them nitpicking like little kids.
Yeah.
And then they're just calmly laying, and you're like, oh, this is peace.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because I think they both have a love-hate relationship with each other. Like, deep down, they love each other. Because anytime one has hurt or anything, the other one runs right up and gets on their nose like, you okay, you okay, you okay? You know, like anything, like accidentally step on a tail or something, and then when you roll it up, you know, that. But at the same time, if the other one's laying in the other lap and the other one wants to be in it, they'll go up there and just whack the out of them, kick them off.
Yes. And it's funny because, like, a honeybee, she's learning, you know, that the pit bulls just want to love her.
Yeah.
And, you know, she has little dog syndrome, so, you know, she's going to snip and get cranky. Well, Titus is clumsy, and he had stepped on Blake one day, and Blake had yipped. And so honeybee flew. I don't know where she came from, but she just, like, darted across the room and ran over to Blake, like, are you okay? Are you okay? And Blake's looking at her like, you just tried to bite me 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but that was different.
And she's like, yeah. She's like,
it's this brotherly or sisterly, you know, it's that sibling
I laugh because I'm like,
relationship.
this is like a bunch of, like, toddlers thrown in the back of a station wagon.
Mhm.
She's touching me.
Yeah. But it just kind of proves that, you know, sometimes you look at us and we're like, well, we're not that different. You know, it's all, there's a lot of shared traits there.
Yeah, except we don't drag our butts across the floor.
Right.
Or we shouldn't if we do.
Yeah, don't recommend it. But
Yeah.
It's your house, you do you.
Just tell me not to come over.
That's right. Yeah, I won't be coming over for dinner tonight. But
it is close to October.
Yes.
And so
this will be that time of year here.
Starting October 1st, any solid black cat or solid white cat will not be available for adoption in the month of October.
They're quarantined for their protection.
And we go all the way to November 6th.
Yep. And it's because of the Halloween holiday, and
it is
a certain small percentage of people do certain weird things, and they go to places like the Humane Society. By the way, if you do have black and white cats,
keep them inside. Don't let them outside.
Don't let them out because they will
update your microchip information.
There will be people looking for them. It's just sad.
And make sure that if you don't have them microchipped, get them microchipped. We know animals slip out of doors on occasion, and this is the time of the year where you need to make sure that it does not happen.
Yeah, even more so. Yeah.
There are fun few tricks that, you know, if your cat likes to try to sneak through the door, get an old metal coffee can or a Coke can, toss some pennies in there and tape it shut. And then when they walk by that can or walk by the door, just toss the can and hit the door so it makes that clinky sound.
Yeah.
So the cat's scared of the
They know
door
to stay away
because
from
of that sound. And that'll help keep your cats from trying to detour outside.
It's kind of like the you're talking about earlier with the little dog. As soon as the spoon hits the thing and hears that sound, it knows exactly what that means. Same thing, but opposite reaction.
Yes, yes. They will not run to it. They will run away.
Yeah. Speaking of pets, what's at the shelter right now? What's our animals
so we
selection
have a
look like?
couple of older not Pekingese, I'm sorry, Shih Tzus that came out of quarantine. They're about 7-ish.
Okay. So they're middle-aged.
One's name's Pocahontas and one is Cinderella.
And those are smaller, so they usually 14, 15. They've got a little bit longer than a bigger dog.
Yeah, and they're right about 12 to 14 pounds.
Okay.
They're not tiny, but they're not big either.
Right.
One thing that people do need to realize when it comes to certain breeds of dogs, they do have to be groomed about every 8 to 10 weeks.
Okay.
They are a high-maintenance breed.
Okay.
Because they shed, but it doesn't technically
gnat
fall out, and it mats.
Okay, so you got to get those matting out, or they're going to have all kinds of problems.
And so they have to, and if you want to let their hair grow out, which is great because they're beautiful, but you have to brush it regularly because
just like if you have long hair, you gotta maintain it just like they do. Yeah.
Now with the season we're coming into and the weeds dying off and certain stickers, their hair is very prone to collect those stickers.
So if you got one that runs through the brambles all the time, you're going to have a heck of a time cleaning that one up.
Yes. So the majority of people that live in this area that have these breeds, typically like in the winter months, they'll keep them in a medium clip, and then they'll keep their legs and their paws completely clipped.
Okay.
Just because, like when they're outside going to the bathroom, you know, it doesn't get in their paw pads. We do have...
And those are any pet owner's nightmare, the goat heads.
They really are. We have 2 lab mixes. I I kind of think they might be Mastiff mixed. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
They were found out in East Grand Plains as strays.
But they're big dogs.
They are Ruby and Scrim. It's a boy and a girl. Scrim is about 35 pounds, and he's only 3 months old.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And Ruby's a little bit smaller. I'd say she's probably pushing 20, 25.
Okay.
But
they're going to be a barrel of fun.
He's a hunk.
Yeah.
And
I bet they're lap dogs. Just
they
like the bigger they are, the more they want to be in your lap.
Yes, they do. They're super sweet, super cute. We do have a 6-month-old shepherd mix. His name is Moose.
Okay.
Moose is named Moose for a reason.
Shepherds are so intelligent animals. They are. I mean, there's a reason why they're used for canine duties a lot. But I never owned one. I've had a mix, but my neighbor when I was a kid, they owned 2 German Shepherds. They were the coolest dogs on the planet. I mean, they were that protective, but so you could roll on the floor with them.
So,
but at the same time, if things went down, them dogs were on alert. It was just an amazing breed.
He looks almost exactly purebred, except for 2 things.
Okay.
He does not have the long, skinny nose, and he does not have the slender head.
Okay.
So he
but
has
the coat and the hair,
everything else. He has kind of like German? A lab head,
okay,
and like a lab snout.
Okay.
But everything else is German Shepherd color, ears,
my
hair.
Guess the temperament of that dog is going to be even more family oriented.
And he is super active.
Yeah,
he does need a very active family. He's going nuts in the kennel because he just wants to go.
If you got a yard with some acreage, that might be a good pet for that household.
But also, if you have some free time and some capabilities of walking the bigger dogs, come visit us, because we have some that are really needing to get out and get some more exercise, and the weather's great this time of the year.
So if you if you like to volunteer, this is especially maybe if you're a person that is that pet lover, but you live in a home that just isn't conductive for pets,
or your landlord doesn't allow
or your landlord doesn't allow it, but you need a fix, then come visit our pets. You can, like I said, this is the time of year we can take the dogs out for walks. But even when the weather's not good, we can take some of the pets and you can go into the meet and greet room.
Yes.
And spend one-on-one time with the pet, just getting them used to hanging out and playing and loving on people, because that is it's prepping them to be more appealing to when families come walking through and see the dogs, and makes them more
familiar. It helps them, like when they're getting out of the kennel and they're getting daily interaction with people other than the staff at the shelter, that helps them to know that it's okay to be friendly.
It gives a trusting. It breaks down whatever walls or barriers that these animals have built to protect themselves.
Yes. We do have some dachshund mixed puppies. People are going crazy on the internet, blowing up our phone.
They're a very, like, I don't know if there's a lot of people that want those dogs, but the ones that do are very
wiener fanatics.
Fanatical about it, yes.
They're wiener fanatics. So they just barely got their second set of shots yesterday.
Okay.
So they still have another week or so to go. Now, because they are puppies and we are still kind of seeing parvo distemper type stuff, we're being a little bit extra cautious just because we want to make sure that when they get adopted, there's nothing that goes home.
Okay. Just curious, I don't know why I just spawned this question right now. I guess just talking to littler breed dogs, but dogs that have more breathing difficulties, like your boxers and smash face type dogs, are they more susceptible to parvo and things just because of germs, and because the way they breathe them, it's a better breeding ground for that kind of thing? Or
it's not so much their brachiocephalic.
Yeah.
It is more so genetics.
Okay.
So you have boxers, pit bulls, bulldogs, Rottweilers, Dobermans that are all very prone to parvo.
Gotcha.
And that's just because of the overbreeding and the inbreeding.
Okay. So it's just we just ruined the the line basically.
Yes, we did. But also, just like us with the dogs, depending on our immune system, depends on whether they can fight off the common cold, or any of that.
Just like any other human, if they're some are healthier than others, and some are better at fighting it than others. And,
if we have like a weakened immune system, we're going to be susceptible to stuff.
Sure.
But
I was just thinking, I was like, well, I didn't know, because I know that's kind of a germ.
They're also very prone to cancer.
Okay.
And that's just genetics from overbreeding and inbreeding.
Sometimes you got to let Mother Nature do. Mother Nature knows a little bit better than us on how to do these things sometimes.
Right. But when you have your short-snouted breeds, they do tend to overheat in mild temperatures. Short-snouted breeds, you always want to make sure that you keep them.
So in New Mexico climate, you got to be on especially,
Yes.
3/4 of the year, you got to be on top of that,
Yes.
basically, yeah.
You want to make sure that they're not overweight. Obviously, you don't want them underweight, but keep them on like a leaner side.
But because of their breathing,
It
more
helps.
girth means harder. I mean, when you're fatter, it's harder to breathe. When you're
Right.
skinnier, it's not. As
Mhm.
it is, yeah. And same goes with them.
It does, and it also helps them be able to expand their lungs more to breathe in better.
Okay, so get more quality breaths.
Yes.
Get more oxygen and go into the organs and doing what it's supposed to do.
Yes, and never leave them outside.
But that's just it. So and that's something to think about, especially if you're being a first time pet owner and things when you're choosing breeds and things like that.
Mutts.
You know what? To be honest, I've never owned a purebred of anything my whole life. Everything's been a mix. I mean, I've had more lab heavy but at the end of the day, it was lab mixed with a pit bull actually. But best dog, one of the best dogs I ever had. But I'm telling you, you will have. This is just my personal experience. You will have a better pet ownership, family relationship experience with that dog if it's a mutt. And the only reason I mention that is because they're generally more intelligent. They're more in tune with picking up on you.
And they're less healthy.
And they're much more healthy. They generally don't have the like you said, those cancer. I mean, sure, everything. And obviously, if it's heavy lab or heavy something, then you're going to have to pay more attention to some of their issues. But by and large, they're a healthier. Their immune systems are better. Their reproductive systems better shape. And by the way, and then if you get your pet spayed or neutered, which you should be doing,
yes,
then you're
please.
really giving them a better health ticket because a lot, especially in cats, especially, there's a lot of cancers and things that those threats go away the moment they are not able to reproduce.
So with the female dog, like they have a cycle just like us humans.
Mm-hmm.
However, they can't tell us, hey, I feel weird. There's something going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so by the time we realize with any female cat
The
or
damage is
dog,
done.
It's almost
Yeah.
too late.
You're not doing mammograms or whatever screenings like you do on a
Right.
human.
And so females get what's called pyrometra, and that's an infected uterus. And there's no external signs of this until they start to ooze from the vulva. And then by that point, it's an emergency surgery
Right.
because it's rushed to save this pet's
Success
life
rates are way down.
because it's about to rupture.
Mhm.
And you can
It's like
prevent
finding
that.
stage 4 cancer, and it's
Yes.
like, well, we're going to fight, but we're way behind the 8 ball here. Yeah.
Right. And so it is very preventable if you spay or neuter ahead
It
of
just
time.
eliminates that
And it does.
that risk altogether.
And it also eliminates the possibilities of having breast cancer because dogs and cats get breast cancer
Yeah.
the same as we do.
And I would imagine, you have a nursing and all that increases that chance
It does.
probably tenfold.
It does. And then when, they're weaning off the puppies, a lot of the times these pets get mastitis, which is buildup of milk glands. And then that leads to like the lumps and all of that. So it's easily preventable by spaying and neutering your pet.
Yeah.
There are programs available. Animal Control now has spay neuter grants
Yeah.
or vouchers.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you get low cost spay and neuters here.
And then I was sent a message yesterday, actually, about one coming up in October. It is with Wild Blue, and it is for cats. It's a spay neuter clinic. It's going to be October 19th and 20th, and excuse me. You go on to the Peace of Mind Rescue Facebook page, and then
Okay.
it's got the link to be able to get an appointment set up.
Maybe I'm hoping because we do have a few great groups, and they're all that they'll kind of go and collect some of the feral cats and have them
Well, this
spayed or
is part of it.
neutered.
So it's saying
Yeah.
if you have a feral cat community, they're asking for a $10 deposit to hold that appointment. And so all feral cats need to be brought in a cat trap. They don't want them coming in pet carriers. They want them in traps. So that way they can safely sedate them.
Feral cats aren't your house cats.
No,
they aren't going to just they're not going to come up and rub on your leg.
Nope. And so they're asking just to go ahead and, trap them.
Yeah.
And they bring them in the trap. And so what they'll do is they'll sedate them, get them out, fix them, get them set up nice and cozy back in the trap. And then you'll pick them up and be able to release them out of the trap after they come out of the anesthesia.
This might be a dumb question, but I don't know because I've never where can you easily get one of these traps at at Petco or something?
You could purchase them at Petco, Tractor Supply, Roswell Livestock. We have traps for we can allow you to use them for a week, and it's $100 deposit.
Okay.
And then when you bring the trap back, we give you the deposit back.
Okay, so you can kind of rent it or borrow it, so to speak.
Yeah, basically you're borrowing it, and if you don't return it, I take your $100 and I go buy a new one.
Okay. Or imagine if you want to go buy one or two and use them, and then if you don't need any more, donate it, and they'll have an extra one or two at the Humane Society.
Yes. So there's, I'm not sure if Paul's Vet carries them, but I do know Roswell Livestock
They do carry a lot of stuff, so it'd be worth a check out. So, yeah.
But I can guarantee that Roswell Livestock, Tractor Supply, and Petco, because I've gotten them from 3 of those
Probably
places.
won't find them in your big box stores, but pet.
No, actually, Walmart you can get, but there's smaller ones.
And see, I'm just worried people will grab those plastic pet carriers instead, and that's not what we're talking about.
No, you want to look for a live, humane animal trap.
Yeah, it's more different than that thing you carry your cat to the vet in.
When you watch TV shows and they talk about, raccoons, and then you see the raccoons in the little box trap, that's the trap we're talking about.
Yeah, this is the stuff like the ASPCA and those groups are going out and rescuing animals.
Yes, but we do have them available if you need to rent one or borrow one. We just do require a $100 deposit, and it's cash or check.
Okay.
And just call ahead of time, because sometimes throughout the year we do tend to get a little bit of a waiting list for them, because people are trapping animals. And
well, as an event comes up like this, demand's going to increase for those kinds of things. So that's why I'm kind of guessing if you kind of want to do the Humane Society a solid, maybe go out and buy you one and then use it. And when you're done with it, donate it. And then the Humane Society they have a half dozen sitting there at any given time. They can loan them out as needed.
Yes, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah. Okay. Salt time. Is there anything else we need to make sure we mention?
No, I just need to thank Sean again for dusting off the stool and coming and helping us. He did. I'm so proud of him, and he was so amazing. Stressed. And between the two of us, I think we were both nervous wrecks, but we pulled it off.
Well, and I'm sure you had the same experience, but he was talking about how cool Clay was with him through the whole process, from the beginning to afterwards, and even follow up. He's like, he got the interpretation that Clay had a very positive experience here, even more so. I did
too. And the next morning, like at 8:00 in the morning, I'm getting an email from Clay with photos he had taken, and he's like, "Thank you so much."
Yeah.
And
Sean was like, "I went through his feed, and he goes, he doesn't do that everywhere he goes. So I kind of got a feeling he felt a little extra love in Roswell, New Mexico last week."
We wanted to make him feel very welcomed here, because he was the first person to reach out to us for something of this.
And let's face it, he's turning his platform like for him to get to the upper echelons of what he does. He's literally got to go from bar to bar, night to night, club hopping, hitting things in and out, may get on a set, may not get on a set, and grow his name. And doing events like this, though, are good for him as far as, but it speaks more to his platform than to where he's going. Like he's not trying to be the next Jerry Seinfeld. He's trying to be a comedian and use that to help animals, and that's kind of very cool to do that. It's like, because he could easily go hit the circuit and probably and the right people find him, and next thing you know, he's got a sitcom on NBC, right? And that's a lot to give up to do this or that path. You know what I mean?
And
so that's pretty impressive.
To do it for animals, to bring awareness to small nonprofits.
Absolutely. So cool. And who knows? Maybe someday he will springboard, and we'll be seeing the Clay Show on NBC or something. One night. But
the Foleys.
It just feels like he's building his career different that way. So it's pretty cool. No.
But, big thanks to him and to Sean for helping make last Friday night a huge success.
Absolutely. RoswellHumane.org. You go there, see all the animals that call the Humane Society home. If you see not available, that means they're in quarantine. They're not adopted. If you fall in love with one of those, check back. Don't forget, beginning October 1 through the rest of the month and into the first couple days into November,
yes.
No black or white cats will be adopted at the Humane Society. You can bring them in, but we won't come out.
Yeah. They got to sit tight with us for a little while.
Yeah, until the season passes.
Yes.
Well, thank you as always, Crystal.
Thank you.
Glad
Thank
you're doing
you.
a little better, and we'll
Me
see you
too.
next time.
Yes.
All right, it is 9:57. Let us take a quick break before they kick me off the radio.
Into Tennessee and Kentucky and merge with a frontal system up in that area.
Earlier, a record-breaking storm surge at Tampa Bay. 2 deaths in Georgia, 1 in Florida. The Carolinas and parts of Tennessee now feeling the storm's fury. Now that she's running for the White House, Biden border czar Kamala Harris finally visits the southern border today, a stop planned in Arizona. Former President Trump says gives Harris a chance to see the disaster wrought by her open border policies.
Why would she go to the border now, playing right into the hand of her opponent? I mean, you take a look at this. Why would you do that?
Mr. Trump suggesting it's a sign of desperation on the part of the Harris campaign. Harris insisting she'll be tough on the border. Mr. Trump says he should have thought of that 4 years ago. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has taken the podium at the UN in New York. He's addressing world leaders at an especially crucial time in the volatile Mideast as Israel fights for its life. Arraignment today for New York City's Mayor Eric Adams, accused of bribe-taking, accepting gifts from wealthy foreigners. Adams says he's innocent. He's at the federal courthouse in Manhattan. The Federal Reserve's preferred inflation barometer providing the latest sign that price pressures are easing, a trend that's expected to fuel further Fed interest rate cuts. On Wall Street, it's driven stocks higher. The Dow is up 224 points. The Nasdaq ahead 19 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Japan's about to get a new prime minister, the country's ruling party choosing a former defense minister, Shigeru Ichiba, as its new leader. The BBC's Marika Oi in Tokyo.
If you look at his economic policies, I read through his, policy suggestions, and they look quite similar to the current administration. If anything, he was criticized for a lack of clear economic vision, if you like. But having said that, he has talked about things like raising the country's average minimum wage. He also talked about reviving the rural economies and so on. But his support for capital gain tax, that was something that investors didn't really like about him, and that's why investors kind of preferred Ms. Takaichi earlier in the race.
Australia's Treasurer Jim Chalmers has welcomed efforts by China to perk up its slowing economy. Chalmers wrapping up a 2-day visit to Beijing, the first by an Australian treasurer to China in 7 years. The strained relations between the two countries mend. News and analysis, townhall.com. Passengers, fasten your seatbelts. Some big changes on the way at a major low-cost airline.
If you flew Southwest Airlines because of its open seating, that's about to change. The airline is planning to charge passengers extra for more legroom. It'll also offer red-eye flights. but bags still fly free. The airline announced that it plans to end the open boarding system it's used for more than 50 years and start flights with assigned seats in early 2026. The move is in response to shifting customer tastes and an attempt to reverse a 3-year slump in profits. At an investor meeting in Dallas, Southwest executives say they can increase revenue by winning over younger and more affluent customers. I'm Haya Panjwani.
It's been a settlement of a lawsuit against Newsmax filed by electronic voting machine manufacturer Smartmatic. The suit had accused Newsmax program hosts and guests of making false and defamatory statements. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
They call it the deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Friday.
Yes.
Big,
the belly that gave up.
The gateway to a week of many things happening.
The real calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And actually not even, because that was yesterday. Yesterday was the end of the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Today is we're entering the storm.
Sure. And literally, it's down back east.
I was going to say,
Florida
speaking of
and that area.
Helene,
Yeah.
which is kind of funny because I shouldn't say funny, but I always chuckle a bit at hurricane and tornado names, especially when they come up in like real life.
Because they sound so not daunting.
We just finished the storyline of Lip and Helene. From Shameless.
Shameless, yeah.
We just wrapped up that storyline.
Yeah.
So I'm just, the whole time I'm hearing them talk about Hurricane Helene, I'm just picturing Lip outside of her house going, Helene! Helene! Just screaming. I want to do a supercut just to see if I can put enough pieces together of Lip just screaming out her name.
I think that could be done.
Oh, yeah.
I think that could be easily done.
That's not a name I really ever heard a lot, especially in that pronunciation, Helene.
No.
And then it's come up twice in the course of literally a couple of weeks.
Like, I feel like that name, you acquire that name because someone in your family already had that name.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's a name that gets passed.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Because, but I don't know a Helene. I don't think I've ever met a Helene. I met Helens.
I've met a few Helens. I've met,
I guess a Helene is a Helen with an extra E.
Well, yeah, but I've also heard Ellen and Eileen, but that's spelled differently.
Yeah. Well, Eileen's a whole nother
Helene
name.
is just with an extra E at the end, right? H-E-L-E-N-E.
I don't know. How's the hurricane spelled?
I assumed like H-E-L-E-N-E. So,
I was
Helene.
on the TV on this morning. So
Helene.
But I find it a little, I'm going to say, like you said, odd. That it's just because, they name him and there's a whole alphabetical thing and girl name, boy names. There's a whole system they do this. But it just makes me laugh because they're like, devastation from Abby. Just like,
Andrew is ripping up the eastern seaboard right now.
It's just like, whoa.
Jeez, Andrew, calm down, buddy.
Yeah, maybe we need to change up with more menacing names. Give it, like, I would start with Decepticon names from Transformers.
Okay.
Go with, I'm just saying, like,
Hurricane Cyborg.
To be honest, Hurricane Soundwave does sound kind of cool.
Hurricane Slagathor.
Yeah.
Like give him like real, rough names.
Or maybe just various cartoons from the 80s. He-Man characters, Hurricane Skeletor.
Hurricane Skeletor works. I like it. Hurricane Cobra.
Yeah.
Of course, that also sounds terrifying.
But that's the idea. We don't want people to think these are good things.
But how far do we want to go?
We want people to fear hurricanes, and if it's calling it, snookums, it's not going to be as good as when you call it something menacing.
I'm really looking forward to Hurricane Schnookums. Hurricane Schnookums has devastated families up and down the seaboard.
Just saying. I mean,
up and down the Carolinas.
Why don't we just do something? Yeah, I would love it. Hurricane Destro. How awesome would that be? This is what we need to do.
It's not bad.
Let's go into the lexicon of history and name these after big time arch villains.
Hurricane Krang. Hurricane Shredder. It's
for the new generation, we could have a Hurricane Voldemort.
Sure. I would love to see a Hurricane Fring.
Just say we could do this. You know what? For our Flash Gordon friends, Hurricane Ming the Merciless.
Hurricane Ming.
Hurricane Khan. I mean, this is what we need to do. We need to talk to legislators about this.
A devastating turn of events tonight as Hurricane Khan has wrecked the Carolinas. It does make it admittedly more fun.
This is the way.
I feel like they should. Well, that's what it should be. I know that there's like a whole scientific method.
Mm-hmm.
They should have a dartboard or like a board just full of names, and then just see what they land on.
Yeah, and I think they do that, but they have a computer that does it instead of a.
Yeah, but that's not as much fun.
Maybe before computers, there was guys that sat around, smoked, and throw darts at the board all day. Just chain smoking and throwing darts.
Hurricane Vladimir.
That's something that always makes because I just happened to catch a lot of the From the Earth to the Moon shows over the last couple of weeks in a different time periods.
Right.
And it's the one thing that always gets me. It's like, man, to be alive like during the 60s and stuff where you just walked in rooms and like everybody's smoking.
Oh yeah.
And like they're sitting on high dollar millions of dollars of equipment. Some guy's got a beanbag ashtray on it.
That's why every piece of machinery or equipment from that era is tinged ever so slightly yellow.
In the Smithsonian, that's how they all
It's all like, why did you guys make it all yellow?
Yeah.
No.
It just
tar made it yellow.
And it part of me makes it think like, does Hollywood do this just to create a vibe? Or was the 60s really just everyone walking around smoking everywhere they went,
Everyone was walking around smoking, but you also have to remember tobacco was in big business back then.
Sure.
But they were still running
I'm
commercials
50s.
on TV.
Yeah.
It was they were lobbying. Have you ever seen that movie? Oh, doggone it. It was a cigarette movie. The guy was like he was a tobacco lobbyist.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for smoking.
Oh yeah, I have seen
Thank you for smoking.
Oh, it's got Two-Face was in it.
Yeah.
What's that actor's name? I can't.
But I got to go.
Actually, kind of looks like the mayor, Tim Keller.
But
I always get him like
that movie kind of explains it. How they were in big budget movie studios talking to producers and be like, we need your character smoking. We'll provide you with all the product you need.
Sure.
I'm
sure a lot of
it portrayed.
But it's just like, I mean, I grew up in the 70s, 80s, and, I'm not like I'm new to the world, but I don't recall, I mean, everyone smoked and everything, but I just don't recall walking everywhere you went and there's just people smoking. I mean, restaurants had smoking sections and things like that, but I just... Like, there ain't people walking around grocery store smoking.
It was definitely a different time, for sure.
It's just, I don't know. So.
Different time to be alive.
Let me give you the rundown. We'll get the hour going here. We're going to get you up to date with the weather here in just a few minutes. Then here in shortly thereafter, we're going to replay our interview we had with Adrian Ruiz with Eastern Mexico State Fair. He came on earlier in the week to tell us all the information about the ranch rodeo that's happening out at next week's fair, Friday and Saturday. So we're going to play that interview for you this hour. And then next hour, we'll have Travis Hicks. I just got a update saying Travis Hicks will join us here to talk just overall Eastern New Mexico State Fair next hour here. So, and also next hour we'll have Jeff Gunn on. I need to send him a text to remind him that we're going to get an update about NMMI and what they've got on tap for sports this weekend. So before we do any of that kind of stuff, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got a good-looking weekend coming up. Temperatures will be a little on the warm side. We have that strong high-pressure system staying put. Doesn't look like it'll be moving anywhere anytime soon. We're expecting low to mid-90s for the afternoon high today, and will stay sunny. Overnight, low 60s and clear, and then right around the 90-degree mark both Saturday and Sunday, a little bit breezy and sunny. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 62 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 52% with winds out of the north at 7 miles per hour. Sunny today. Expect a high of 96 today. So it's going to be a little warm. Maybe a little too warm for some people's likings. Me. Winds out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies. Expect an overnight low of 62 degrees. Winds will be out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny and a high of 92 tomorrow. Winds out of the northeast at around 5 miles per hour. Clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 60 degrees. Winds out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. And then sunny on Sunday as well with a high of 91. And then 95 when day one officially, because we got the preview and everything going on at the fair this weekend with the rides and everything. But with the parade and everything and official start of fair, it's going to be in high about 95 on Monday. So warm, but we dropped down into the upper 80s on Tuesday. So little, but then I think it levels out around 90 for the rest of the week. All right, it is 8:16. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with Adrian Ruiz talking about the ranch rodeo out at the fair next week. Don't go away.
The Fall into Savings sales event is on now at Roswell Hyundai, the home of...
Yes.
Get a 24 Hyundai Tucson SE just $442 a month, or a 24 Hyundai Elantra SEL just $379 a month. And test drive the all-new 25 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid, rugged and ready for wherever the road takes you. 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select vehicles. And don't forget to sign up to win one of 2 65-inch 4K smart TVs to be given away September 21st and 28th at 1 p.m. The Fall into Savings sales event on now at the home of... Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
At the end of the Apostle Paul's life, he wrote these words, "I've fought the good fight, I've finished the race, I've kept the faith. Now there is in store for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but to all who have longed for his appearing." There's a lot of craziness in our world these days. However, for those who have accepted the saving grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, we know that the next life will be full of perfect peace. After living a life trying to destroy followers of Christ, the Lord spoke to Paul and changed his life's work to preaching the saving grace of Jesus. He truly fought the good fight from that point on. He had lived through persecution, prison, and even peril, yet was ready in the end to meet God's judgment, knowing that he had done what God had called him to do. You too can have that same assurance that even though this world is a mess, if you answer the call of God, you can face judgment with peace. Do you want to find that peace? Join us to learn how.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is your one-stop shop for farm and ranch supplies in southeastern New Mexico, with a friendly, knowledgeable team that can help you find the answer to your problems. With brands you know, including Preferred, Pearson, Purina, High Pro Feeds, Ariat, Wrangler, Cinch, Justin Boots, and more. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a proud supporter of area sports, 4-H, FFA, and the farmers and ranchers of tomorrow. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd, celebrating being family-owned and operated for 50 years.
When you're healthy, you can do amazing things. We're all about that. Because if you don't have access to health insurance through your work, or you just lost Medicaid, Be Well can connect you to the right health plan for you, your family, and your budget. We want to make your life a little easier, worry-free, and healthier. Because your health is everything. Be strong, be adventurous, and be amazing. Be well. New Mexico's health insurance marketplace. Learn more at bewellnm.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, Adrian Ruiz back with us this morning. Good morning, Adrian. How you doing today?
Hey, we're doing great. Thank you for having us again.
As always, it's that time of year, when we think, this time, fall, we hit usually that first week of October. That's what's on our brain is Eastern New Mexico State Fair, and we are, officially 1 week away from the start of the fair, but unofficially less than that because this weekend, Friday, everything's really when the fair gets underway. But as far as the parade and the official, we are about 1 week out from that next Monday.
Yes,
so
yes, sir.
Yeah, but that being said, now's the time to plot and plan and decide what you're going to be doing and what days you want to make sure you get out to this year's Eastern New Mexico State Fair. When you get a chance today, log on to their website. It's www.enmsf.com. It's the initials for Eastern New Mexico State Fair. And there you can see the scheduled events. You can see all the entertainment, who's the different shows this year, the schedule for the carnival, of course, all the different livestock shows, the fair book, so you can know what shows are when, and if you got to get your entries in this week, because that'll all be happening here this week. Folks getting their entries turned in. If you need that kind of information, go to the website, enmsf.com, and all of it will be there too. And then I always like to tell another good tip. If you don't do it on social medias, your Facebook, and is it Instagram, the other one that you guys are pretty regular users? I always tell you to like and follow that, because anytime there's changes during the fair week, that's usually the first place it goes. And there's always weather or something happens, they're like, all right, we're going to have to move this to here or anything, or just get reminders. Hey, don't forget today's senior day. I always encourage you to like and follow, if you don't already do so, the Eastern New Mexico State Fair on those social media platforms. That way, as updates happen, say if there is a weather delay for the carnival, I hope not, but the weather we can't control that one. So if there is those kind of notifications, that's usually the first place they go out. So that way you're kind of first to know on that kind of stuff. So just some kind of tips we always, when we get to this time of year at the fair, and just want to remind folks as you come out to Eastern New Mexico State Fair this week. So, but do you know some of the like schedule for Friday here, and some of like the Freeman night and all that kind of stuff for rides and all that stuff?
For the rides of the actual fair itself, that I don't know.
Okay, go to the fair website and you can get all that stuff. Adrian's here to talk ranch rodeo. I just thought maybe he happened to know off the top of my head. I haven't done all the reading yet. But again, go to the fair website and you can do all that. And we'll talk more. We're actually going to have folks all week long come in on the show and talk about different aspects of the fair. We'll talk entertainment. We'll talk rides. We'll talk all that throughout the course of the week here. But one thing I want to put on your radars, and if you've never had an opportunity to be at one of these kinds of rodeos before, then I hope you make the Eastern New Mexico State Fair your first chance. On October 4th and 5th, that is that Friday and Saturday night?
Friday and Saturday night, yeah.
So it'll be 1 week from this Friday and Saturday, next Friday and Saturday, out at the Bob Crosby Show Arena there. That will be our Pecos Valley Stampede Ranch Rodeo. This is a ranch rodeo, which is a little bit different than your bull riding and what some people think of as this is a working man's rodeo. This is kind of the day job of cowboys, and it's very cool to watch because some of the categories are a little different than bull riding and stuff like that. They'll bust out a pickup truck and start loading cattle, loading livestock onto the trailers, and wild cow milk. And there's some cool, but it's all events and things that simulate or emulate what cowboys do on the daily out at the ranch.
Yes, sir. So most of those guys, most of the stuff that we're going to do is things that have to be done every day on the ranch. Some of these guys are really good at what they do. So come on and watch.
If you've never seen it, it is. It was about 10 years ago. I got to watch my first ranch rodeo, and I'm a city boy. I grew up in Maryland. I'm not, I've learned as I've been here 20 plus years, but I've never grew up on a ranch. So a lot of it's new to me. And so, but I watch bull ride and rodeos. I've been to a few, and then I was like, no, we go to a ranch rodeo. This one's different. And I went and I was like, wow. And yeah, it's so different, but it's so cool because it's a lot of team concept on this one where, sometimes the bull riding, it's individual efforts and things like this this is more team concept. If these guys,
teamwork.
Yeah.
A lot of teamwork.
Yeah. And so it adds an element that's way different.
There's a lot of speed involved, and these guys are, the guys that are coming in for the ranch rodeo by itself. We up the fees just a little bit to make it, a lot more aggressive.
Okay.
And these guys are coming in for some money.
Excellent.
They're going to play for some money.
So you're going to get some serious players.
They're going to be some serious players this time. Yeah.
Now, do they get, obviously when in bull riding and stuff, there's the PBR and then there's folks that are at that's what they do is their day job for a living here. When it comes to ranch rodeos, are these guys in a circuit where that's what they do is ranch rodeo, or by the day they're sitting at whatever ranch doing their day to day?
Right. No, there is a sanctioned rodeo.
Okay.
And there's different places around the state that hold them.
Okay.
And a few years ago, we actually used to have a sanctioned ranch rodeo here.
Okay.
The winners of that ranch rodeo got to. Got a place to go to Amarillo.
Okay.
And to the main event down there. And as far as what we do here is a lot of these guys do end up going over.
Okay.
So it's a lot of fun to see
So they're
those
kind of
guys.
them learning their chops, getting kind of like them in the minors, kind of getting their eyeballs, getting seen, and trying to get to the next level.
This
here.
is where these guys come in, and if they do win some of this, that helps them provide some of the funds to go up to the next level and whatnot. So
and when we get at this level, it's different than like say football or basketball where there's scouts like trying to recruit you per se. This is you're earning prize money and earning to basically earn to a point where you can buy into what it costs to get into these other levels because
it's pretty pricey. We're just enough on the low level that you don't have the main sponsors coming and picking your team up and going that direction.
Yeah, these guys don't have Wrangler written all over them and have them paying thousands of dollars.
Like that. It's just they have to come and show and mind you, a lot of these guys just to make it to the big show is awesome.
Yeah.
And then there has been talk about bringing back the sanctioned ranch rodeo to Roswell, but it takes a lot of funds.
To be honest, it takes funds, but it also takes support. And if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, how do you do that? Is standing room only at the Stampede Ranch Rodeo at the weekend.
Yes, sir.
When there is standing room only and there's crowds there, and we get good crowds, but when you pack the rodeo ring every night of the rodeo, that sends a message saying rodeo is big and rodeo is in demand here in Chavez County.
Right.
And that's going to garner more interest, more support, more money.
Well, the cool thing about this ranch rodeo, as anything, a lot of the family members that are on the ranch rodeos can actually come compete in front of the public and show their stuff, as they say.
So you kind of see all levels. You see the guys that are trying to make it to a professional level, to the ones that, on Monday they're going to be out in the county doing the same thing on their dairies and ranches and things.
That's correct. That's correct. Now we do have the ranch bronc riding as well, and that one will pay out about $5,000. And thanks to all the sponsors, we just made that, and we sure do appreciate the sponsors. And if you ever see any of the people that are on the fence there with their banners, please tell them thank you. Support them, because it was hard. It's been hard the last couple of years trying to get funds for this thing, and we greatly appreciate everybody for helping us out.
And that's really what the Eastern New Mexico State Fair as a whole is about. It's celebrating the farming and ranching community. That's what this is about.
And the rodeo is kind of the fun part, the competition. That's where
the
everything
end of the
from
week,
everything from
thing
bragging
at the
rights
back.
to just letting off steam and celebrating another amazing fair. And we would love for you to come out and have a good time. Of course, the rodeo, like the concerts and everything, it's included in with your paid admission into
free.
the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. You go in, and it's all a part of that. You can, and now, granted, remember the Bob Crosby Arena is not really right next to all the rides and stuff. It's kind of at the more
north end
of the fairgrounds there. So you just follow the crowd. You get on over.
Yep,
They'll have an inch, but you can seamlessly get back into the fair part from
Back
the
and
rodeo,
forth. Yes, that's
back and
correct.
forth. So once you're in. That way, if you do go directly to rodeo night and you're like, hey, let's go ride some rides afterwards, come on over and get something.
And there's
going to
be 2 full days. We'll have 2 slacks. There's 21 ranch rodeo teams. So on Friday night, we'll have part of them come in and see who makes it to the Saturday night showground. Now on Saturday, we're just going to run the rodeo teams by themselves from 9 o'clock all the way till whenever they get done.
Okay.
And there's not much going on, but if you want to come see those guys get after it during the day on Saturday, you're more than welcome to come and watch. There's not much things happening, but there is a lot of good cowboys out there fighting for a lot of money, and they want to get into want to come back on Saturday night.
I imagine there's a bunch of young folks that probably go and can sit and study technique and study other ranch rodeo participants, and that's how you get better is watching
some of the
others
older
and
guys
others.
that does older folks that don't really want to come in and watch the hassle of the night crowd or whatnot.
They like to watch it in a more or less exciting environment.
You just go there and sit down and watch a good rodeo. Watch these good kids come in and do their stuff.
It's a lot of fun, and it'll be like you said, Friday night there, and then of course Saturday night will be the big showdown there.
Saturday night will be a great show, yeah.
And but like you said, you want to see it Friday night to see them go through and see who gets on, and then you're like, oh, that boy, because that'll be you'll be watching that team's they're going to be tough to beat tomorrow night. You can kind of see because you'll go through and you'll see it's like, oh, I'm sure we're going to see them tomorrow night. Yeah, we're going to see them tomorrow night.
Great horses.
Yeah. And here's the thing is it's really easy to pick up as you're watching it, and I'm sure it's a lifetime to master the skills of which these cowboys are doing. But as far as you not knowing anything about it and sitting and spectating and understanding what's going on, it's very easy to do. You can really have very little knowledge of the sport and come and sit down, talk to a few people and watch, and you're going to be pretty well versed and into it, excited. That's the part that's cool about it is you're like, yeah, I barely ride a horse, but man, I could sit here and watch this all day. It's just seeing these amazing people do what they do. It's really cool.
I have a kid in college. I have a couple of kids in college, and one of them has picked up the rodeo stuff some, and they have a team this year, so it's going to be pretty nice to see. And it's a young lady, so we're going to see her come in and compete with all the guys out there.
Generally speaking, what's about the youngest some of these competitors start competing at ranch rodeo? I mean, is it teenage level?
First year we had Steve McCutcheon from Carlsbad.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his 2 boys, and I believe the boys were 9 and 10.
Okay, so some even before
yeah,
teens. They're old enough to walk around and handle a rope.
To handle the rope, they come. And they did very good. They actually, because if it wasn't for those 2 kids, they actually came in back to the short go on Saturday, which was amazing to see that.
And and to me, that's the beauty of the entire fair is seeing those kids and seeing whether it's in the rodeo ring or in the livestock show ring. Seeing these, and I do tell this story every fair year, and I'm going to tell it again. One of my favorite things is going in that livestock show ring and watching like heifer shows or any of the big animals.
Mm-hmm.
And you get these kids that are 9, 10 years old and some of them barely 3 feet tall. And they are literally manhandling an 800-pound animal.
And that's a lot of work. Those guys, they don't do this one day to the next.
Yeah.
They've been working on this for for years, and especially those kids have been working with their livestock cattle since the beginning of the year, and then working with their ag teachers and ag agents throughout the year to be where they're at.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you see that on the ranch rodeo, in the rodeo ring too. You see that. Yes, you're going to see guys that they're ready to take it to that next level. But you're going to see people that for the very first time are going to be in a rodeo ring doing a ranch rodeos.
Throughout the year, we'll have these young kids come up and they'll ask me, Adrian, are you going to do the ranch rodeo again? I said, yes, sir, I sure will. Okay, I'll let my dad know so we can put us in.
Well, that's just it. It's fun.
Don't shy us away from it. No, come on in.
It's a family tradition in Southeast New Mexico.
Yeah. And it's always great to watch the families in the stands watching their great grandkids or grandkids out there competing, and it's a lot of fun.
It is so much fun to watch because you get to see you see teamwork in action. You just see the greatest in humanity out there because these kids and adults and everyone else that are working and trying to, whether they're trying to get to that next level or just, show their family they can do this stuff. You get to see those humanity moments, and even the moments where they don't succeed and you see the others pick them up and carry and rally them. And, it's just an amazing thing to see is seeing these kids.
For them to be around these great horsemen guys out there, they pick up a lot, and we've got to continue this program. It's a lot of fun.
Well, and this stuff like this is how we keep the farming and ranching industry going. And I say this, and the fair is here to celebrate the farming and ranching industry and all that we do, and very much Southeast New Mexico is very much in the fabric of the farming and ranching community. But here's the thing: globally, we have less people in the farming and ranching community, more people on the earth. We have a demand that is rising and a supply that is decreasing. It doesn't take a math scholar to figure out we've got to get creative in the farming and ranching industry. And these kids that you're going to be seeing doing this trailer load, and this is going to be the generation of kids that are going to have to be dealing with these issues involved.
Be our cow-calf producers for the state.
So all the stuff we're doing this weekend is strengthening and supporting and giving the next generation the tools to handle the problems we're facing now and to deal with them in their way.
Right.
Yep. That's exactly what we're doing.
And some of these teams that are coming, they're coming from Tucumcari, they're coming from Klein's Corners, they're coming from Clovis, they're coming from Eunice, Jowl, Las Cruces. Of course, there's a few from here.
That's the thing,
it's the whole entire state.
Eastern New Mexico State Fair is a bit misleading because we really do have competitors from all over the state.
Yeah.
And that's true in everything, not just the ranch rodeo, but when you go see the livestock shows or the 4-H shows or the Home X shows and all that kind of stuff. You're going to see kids from all over the state competing, and adults from all over the state competing. So technically, Eastern New Mexico State Fair, but it's really New Mexico State Fair too.
That's correct. That is correct.
And now, this week, I think we're competing directly with Balloon Fiesta this year. I want to say usually there's a week in between them.
I believe it's going to be.
I think they're the same week this year.
Yes, that's right.
I believe they're around the same week this year, or towards same week. Yeah. So maybe that'll. I don't know. I don't think that'll impact one or the other.
I don't think it'll impact our state down here.
But if you just have to plot and plan accordingly. If you do both each year, you might have to.
There's a lot of people that were at the state fair in Albuquerque, and the hustle and bustle. I think they were probably really glad to come down where it's nice and calm and
a little. Yeah, it was pretty busy this year's fair. I saw a couple days on the news and on TV, and they were going here. But if you do have where you have to go both, do our fair stuff there. During the weekends. Save Balloon Fiesta during the week because the weekends are nuts out there. So if you go like on a Tuesday, and that way you can have the weekend first stuff down here.
Right.
There you go. Plot and plan. Less headache. But again, anything fair related, if it's about the ranch rodeo or about any of the livestock shows or about entertainment or anything of that related, Your best resource for everything is the Eastern New Mexico State Fair's website. Again, that's www.enmsf.com. It's the initials for Eastern New Mexico State Fair. And then you'll see all the tabs. There's a schedule of events. You can see everything there. I do want to ask, as far as like participating in the ranch rodeo, is there still sign-up times? And
it is all full.
It is all full.
The only thing that we will have a few entries or a few open spots for the Ranch Bronc rodeo.
Okay.
For the Ranch Bronc, anyways. And but there's a few for that, but everything else is completely full.
Is that sign up as you do it kind of thing?
No, it has to be signed up at least. You probably have probably by Friday.
Okay, so if you're interested in the Bronc ride,
Friday,
get on the stick today. But everything else is we've got our competitors. They're locked in.
They're locked in.
All we got to do
ranch
is
rodeos are guys are ready to go. The waiting list was phenomenal. There was a lot of guys
I'm
still
so glad
coming in, and
I mean, it sucks that that they don't get to participate, but that's such a good thing for the sport when you have a waiting list for people trying to get in.
Especially for this part of the area, and to have that many people calling in wanting to enter is just phenomenal. It's a great deal that we've developed here.
It's great to see it because it makes you feel that 20 years from now, when maybe we're too old to be messing with stuff, the next generation's fully going and keeping it going.
Yeah, they're going to be fighting for almost $13,000 on the ranch rodeo stuff. So
good prize money out there.
All prize money is what they get.
So and
deal.
Anytime there's good prize money, not that it's always great action, but when the prize money's a little bit higher, they will stretch the neck one inch longer,
a little
longer. Yeah.
The top teams might not make it into the short round because they were just killing it a little too fast.
Dollars can mean a second can mean a big change in dollars.
Big change in dollars.
Yeah, it's absolutely. I don't know if we're quite to the point where it's like we just got in the Olympics where people are like hundredths of a second, but it's pretty close.
Pretty close.
How quick
Sometimes
they
get pretty close. I mean, we will have a.
It's not photo finishes, but it's darn close.
Right,
seconds difference.
We will have a ranch an open team roping on Saturday afternoon after the ranch rodeo. And we're only allowing a total of about 150 teams for that. So anybody's welcome to enter.
Okay.
The short round will be in the Saturday night rodeo. So, like I said, if you guys want to come down, that one's still open.
Excellent.
Of course, yeah.
Good deal. I'm just curious. Is the obviously, rodeo nights, the rodeo ring's pretty busy, but during the week, during the fair, is there always like some of these teams using the ring to just warm and train, or is it pretty quiet until?
It's pretty quiet.
Okay.
It's pretty quiet. Now, I know the one of the cool things about bringing this rodeo back was the fair queens and the Chaves County queens. They actually get to come strut their stuff.
Okay, good.
And we didn't have that for a while, and so I believe the Queen contest either Saturday or Sunday coming up is when they're going to do that.
So really, Friday and Saturday, you kind of want to be hanging out that rodeo ring on and off all week, all day during those two times.
Right.
Friday and Saturday.
Usually
here.
Friday the rodeo will start at 6:00, and then the next day it will start at 9:00, and then Saturday it's an all-day event.
Okay.
It'll be from 9:00 till.
I was just wondering maybe if it was like a Tuesday and you just ate one too many funnel cakes and you decided to walk on over there and sit off your funnel cake, you might catch a couple teams just training or getting ready for the weekend.
No. There's a lot of these guys have to travel a long way, so it's hard for them to go and come back.
Well,
and then a lot of the guys,
they might still be working.
They're working.
Yeah, they showing up till Friday night.
They gotta go clean up their horse or go fix waters, And they're this time of the year is a weaning season for these guys, so they're preparing their cattle for that.
Gotcha. So they're pretty tight schedule.
So they're on a tight schedule right now. So a lot of these guys that are they're coming in pretty wore out, and things like that. Most of the time, you would say a rancher be on horseback all the time, but no, they probably ride once or twice a week or so. But at this time of the year, they pretty much ride every day.
Good deal.
A lot of the guys, yeah.
Do they have like a laptop thing? They put
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
But come see it. Come. We are 1 week away. Really this weekend the fair gets underway. Come out and be a part of the fair. And like we said, here on next Friday and Saturday night is the two big nights for Ranch Rodeo. Come on out. Night one's going to be full of the preliminary rounds and weeding down to the big showdown Saturday night. Yeah. But come on out and hang out all day make sure you're popping in and out. And like I said, checking out the different categories.
Support all the guys that support us. Anybody you see out there, a banner out there, support them big time. It's been tough. It's been really tough. So
absolutely,
we appreciate every penny that these guys donate to us. And
are any of the sheriff's posse or anything doing any fundraisers out there that we can promote or anything?
I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know if anybody's going to be doing special burgers or something rodeo night out there. And I know sometimes there's. Sometimes things like that.
Sometimes they do.
But if you do see that stuff, support it because all of them are.
Down. Yep.
So if you see some cowboys burning burgers out there, go support them. Absolutely. Adrian, is there anything we wanted to cover? Anything we just spaced on or didn't get a chance to talk about?
I think everything's pretty good. Just come watch. Like I said, it doesn't cost anything to come in to watch the rodeo with admission to the fair.
You're already in there for free.
You're in there. You can walk in and out and see some of these guys. Yeah. Rain, snow, dry, anything, doesn't matter.
They're like the millmen.
Will
they
be
keep going.
In there.
Yep.
Well, we will rodeo even if it's raining, and we did that the first year. We didn't matter. The boys, they didn't care.
That's life on the ranch.
Yeah,
the work's got to be done. The cows still need the tending to, whether it's snowing or raining or what it's doing out.
And rain around here is so greatly appreciated.
I'm about to say we get rain out here. It's a fun thing. It's like we're gonna go play in the rain.
Go play in the rain. We don't see it very often.
Absolutely. So hopefully, fair always seems to at least one day we get something. But I hope we get moisture, just not to a point where it messes up any rodeos, concerts, any special events or anything.
The rodeo will still go.
It won't mess those up.
It won't up. So
I know those concerts, they get a little more sensitive on that.
If they shut down that other stuff, just come on down.
There you go.
We'll have something for you to do.
It's really weird. People don't like to play electric guitars in the rain. Just saying. No. I don't know why. But if you do, here's another tip, like just to sustain you. If you're over there by the concert and all that stuff, go into the 4-H ice cream building, get you an ice cream cone, and that'll give you enough energy to go from there to the rodeo ring. And that ice cream cone should be empty about the time you get to the rodeo ring, and then you can go and sit down and get some eats right around that area, too. Good deal. Agent, thanks as always. Appreciate the visit.
Thank you. Appreciate for letting me
come. And we look forward to getting a bunch of fun rodeo action next week here. Yes. It's going to be a lot of good stuff. So thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
All right. It is 8:48. Let us shut our holes to pay. Actually, got to play some news. And then eventually I'll get to some commercials to pay for lunch. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The state of New Mexico reports $1.3 billion in cannabis sales since it became legal. Some pot shops are being forced to close amid so-called oversaturation. Some business owners say too many stores have killed the market, and the lawmakers need to temporarily pause new licenses. Last week, it was revealed that Minerva Canna and Sacred Garden, two legacy operators that have been part of the New Mexico marijuana landscape since before adult use legalization, are permanently closing. BLM has announced a public comment period on a proposed Cowboy Solar project. The project claims to be able to produce up to 200 megawatts of renewable energy on about 2,500 acres in Eddy County. A virtual meeting is scheduled for October 3rd from 5 to 6 p.m. There will be a presentation on the proposed overall project, an overview of the analysis of land suitability, and a question and answer session after. You do need to register if you'd like to attend. With your local news update, I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Let's catch you up on some small school volleyball results over the past week. Dexter is now 11-1 on the season after defeating Eunice Tuesday in a 3-0 sweep. Eunice is 4-7. Dexter got 12 kills from senior Alexa Miramontes in the victory. They'll play at Capitan next Tuesday. Capitan was the foe for Hagerman on Tuesday, a couple days ago, and the Bobcats win, but narrowly, 3-2. It was 15-12 in the fifth set. Hagerman is 3-4 on the season. NMMI is 7-4 after sweeping Mescalero 3-0. Sarah Pires, a senior for the Colts, 12 kills in that match. They'll play at Hondo next Tuesday at 5. Gateway Christian is 6-1 after beating Tatum, and Lake Arthur is 7-2. They lost narrowly to Hondo on Tuesday 3-2. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got a good-looking weekend coming up. Temperatures will be a little on the warm side. We have that strong high-pressure system staying put. Doesn't look like it'll be moving anywhere anytime soon. We're expecting low to mid-90s for the afternoon high today, and will stay sunny. Overnight, low 60s and clear, and then right around the 90-degree mark both Saturday and Sunday, a little bit breezy and sunny. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. A choppy session on Wall Street yesterday. U.S. stocks closed mixed as new home sales fell 4.7% in August, a larger decline than what was expected on Wall Street. The median price of a home declined. Today on the economic calendar, look for initial jobless claims as well as pending home sales for August. Durable goods orders for August due, as well as the second revision for the GDP. Dow component Amgen sold off yesterday, weighing on the blue chip stock average. Disney Plus cracking down on password sharing. The streaming platform will allow users to add a member outside their household. Going to cost just $7 per month for Disney Plus Basic, $10 for Disney Plus Premium. Only one extra member allowed per account. Streaming giant Netflix made a similar move last year and reported success with low account cancellations. Yesterday's notable losers included automakers General Motors and Ford. Energy giant Chevron slumped. On the upside, a relatively good day for the tech sector. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise rose following an upgrade from analysts as tied to artificial intelligence demand, and AI darling chipmaker NVIDIA advanced as well. That's the Market Report. I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Hey, Judge Janine here. You've heard me talking about Byrna. Listen to this story from John. John Kennedy was napping on his couch between shifts when a large intoxicated man broke through his door. John used a Byrna hidden in his couch to take the man's knees out, incapacitating him until police arrived. The New York compliant kit does not require a background check and can ship directly to your home. Visit Byrna.com/Janine now and you'll get 10% off your purchase. Just know Byrna products cannot be legally purchased or used in New York City and Yonkers.
This product may only be used for emergency self-defense purposes or to train. Please be trained for use accordingly.
The Eastern New Mexico State Fair and the Hondo Rodeo Company present the 3rd annual Pecos Valley Stampede, October 4th and 5th, 6 p.m. at the Bob Crosby Arena north of the fairgrounds, featuring trailer loading, open ranch bronc riding, daily knot tying, stray gathering, and wild cow milking, plus calf scramble, mutton busting, and mini bull riding for the kids. And admission to the rodeo is free with your paid admission to the fair. Call 575-910-4962 to get your team signed up. The 3rd annual Pecos Valley Stampede Ranch Rodeo, October 4th and 5th at the Bob Crosby Arena, and paid for by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
At the end of the Apostle Paul's life, he wrote these words, "I fought the good fight, I've finished the race, I've kept the faith. Now there is in store for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but to all who have longed for his appearing." There's a lot of craziness in our world these days. However, for those who have accepted the saving grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, we know that the next life will be full of perfect peace. After living a life trying to destroy followers of Christ, the Lord spoke to Paul and changed his life's work to preaching the saving grace of Jesus. He truly fought the good fight from that point on. He had lived through persecution, prison, and even peril, yet was ready in the end to meet God's judgment, knowing that he had done what God had called him to do. You too can have that same assurance that even though this world is a mess, if you answer the call of God, you can face judgment with peace. Do you want to find that peace? Join us to learn how.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday. located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
The Fall into Savings sales event is on now at Roswell Hyundai, the home of...
Yes.
Get a 24 Hyundai Tucson SE just $442 a month, or a 24 Hyundai Elantra SEL just $379 a month. And test drive the all-new 25 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid, rugged and ready for wherever the road takes you. 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select vehicles. And don't forget to sign up to win one of 2 65-inch 4K smart TVs to be given away September 21st and 28th at 1 p.m. The Fall into Savings sales event on now at the home of Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Picture this. You're behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor. You're effortlessly breaking ground, moving piles of rocks just by moving a lever, and enjoying the sun as you clear brush across your pasture. We could keep trying to put you in the moment, but to really understand what this feels like, you just have to get in the seat.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
The Roswell Symphony Orchestra is warming up for their 66th season, and you're invited to opening night with KO Plays Elgar, Saturday, October 12th, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. Brahms' Academic Festival Overture and Elgar's Concerto for Cello and Orchestra bookends the world premiere of Bucolic Celebration, written by Southeast New Mexico's own Mark Del Porto. Tickets are available now online at roswellsymphony.org or at the door. Get your tickets now, then come be a part of opening night of the historic 66th season of the Roswell Symphony Orchestra, sponsored in part by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true. Trusted.
Round up your family and friends and join the Artesia Arts Council Red Dirt Fun Run during the Red Dirt Black Gold Festival on Saturday, September 28th in downtown Artesia. The Western-inspired 5K run invites participants of all ages to dress in their finest cowboy and cowgirl attire. Whether you're trotting along with a stick pony or racing in a rodeo queen costume, a morning full of fun and music is guaranteed. A foam machine will be on site for pre- and post-run fun. Participants will get a free t-shirt and breakfast burrito from Lucky Duck Grill. For tickets, visit artesiaartscouncil.com or call 575-746-4212 for more information. The Red Dirt Fun Run, Saturday, September 28th, 8 to 10 a.m. in downtown Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Today we're going to give you the 5th key to a great marriage, taken from Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The 5th key is commitment, living the love you promised.
Galatians 6:9 says, "And let us not get tired of doing what is right, for after a while we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't get discouraged and give up." You know, one of the keys to commitment is just deciding in your heart, I'm never giving up on God, I'm never giving up on my marriage, I'm never giving up on my family.
Commitment is a promise made and kept by 2 imperfect people. It's good for our kids to see that problems happen and we're committed to solving them together.
If you want all 5 keys to a great marriage, you can go to our website at jomconference.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:58. Got a minute or two here before we get to top of the hour news. Stay tuned next hour here about 9:15 or so. We're going to be joined by Travis Hicks talking about the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. Of course, we've been having various guests on. Of course, you just heard our interview we had with Adrian talking about the Ranch Rodeo on Friday and Saturday. Travis is going to just give us an overall general fair information, times, things, dates, the important things you need to know about the fair next week. So we'll do all that with Travis next hour. Of course, we will have high school football for you tonight. As, of course, Roswell and Goddard and Artesia all in action. We'll have coverage of all three of their games tonight. Of course, Coyotes are here at home. We'll have that game for you right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. You'll be able to catch live streaming video of that game as well, ksvptv.com in the Roswell Coyote channel. For Goddard Rockets, you can listen to that broadcast on our sister station, 106.1 FM Fierro. Keith Dunlap will be calling that game for you tonight. Roy is also going with him, so we should have video for that as well, again, on ksvptv.com. This time you'll click on the Goddard Rocket channel there to watch their football matchup in Gadsden. And then, of course, Bulldogs taking on Lovington. Of course, that's a big game. That game, I believe, is in Lovington tonight. We'll have that game on our other sister station in Artesia, 990 AM KSVP, or its 93.7 FM translator and video, ksvptv.com. All right, it is 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Forecasters are warning of the potential for devastating flooding of historic proportions across the southeast, including in the Atlanta area, from Tropical Storm Helene made landfall as a hurricane late last night along Florida's Big Bend.
You're seeing really significant amounts of surge, streets that are flooded.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
We have had a report of a fatality on the roadway. Car driving on I-4 near Ybor City in Tampa was hit when a sign fell.
Hurricane-force winds were carried far inland, knocking out power to well over 1 million homes and businesses in Florida, Georgia, and other states. There were 2 fatalities reported in Wheeler County, Georgia, where a mobile home was overturned by the wind. Megan Barwick is the Emergency Management Director for Lowndes County, Georgia. She spoke with WALB.
Lots of trees down throughout the community. And we are just encouraging all of our residents to hang in there and continue to shelter in place.
The storm is expected to turn northward and slow down over the Tennessee Valley.
That's correspondent Jennifer King. Western North Carolina, including Asheville, among areas now getting swamped by the storm. And the storm-related death toll has risen, now stands at least 6. Declaring enough is enough, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says Israel will no longer tolerate daily rocket fire from Hezbollah in Lebanon. Addressing world leaders this morning at the UN in New York, Netanyahu vows that if Hezbollah does not surrender, Israel will fight until achieving total victory. Also in New York this morning, former President Trump meeting at Trump Tower with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Watching Wall Street, stocks are mixed. The Dow is up 358 points, but the Nasdaq trading 5 points lower, and the S&P is 12 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
The Biden administration imposes some new tariffs on China.
Analysts have said the tariffs, which include a 100% duty on electric vehicles made in China, are largely symbolic, especially given Chinese EVs aren't currently sold in the US. The hikes come as Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump have clashed over tariffs on the campaign trail. Mr. Trump is calling for sweeping new duties on all imports, while Ms. Harris has said that his proposal would raise prices for the American people.
The BBC's Michelle Fleury. Families of the 43 students from a rural teachers' college abducted 10 years ago in southern Mexico have marked the painful anniversary, disillusioned after a decade of unfulfilled government promises. The anniversary fell just 4 days before the departure of President López Obrador, whose election in 2018 had raised hopes among the families. News and analysis at townhall.com. A longshoreman strike deadline is looming.
The group representing East and Gulf Coast ports is asking a federal agency to make the Longshoremen's Union come to the bargaining table to negotiate a new contract. The U.S. Maritime Alliance says it filed an unfair labor practice charge with the National Labor Relations Board, alleging that the International Longshoremen's Association is not bargaining in good faith. The alliance said it filed the charge due to the ILA's repeated refusal to come to the table and bargain on a new master contract. The union says it has communicated with the alliance, which continues to make an inadequate wage offer. John Scott reporting.
A man convicted of killing 3 people in workplace shootings has been executed with nitrogen gas in Alabama, the second time the state has used that execution method. Alan Miller was a delivery truck driver convicted of killing 3 men during back-to-back workplace shootings in 1999. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. What's your beverage of choice?
I was actually curious, have you ever had one of these? This is a Manzanita Sol.
I'm not.
This is apple flavored soda. It's actually delicious.
So is it like a sparkling apple juice?
Kinda. It's like carbonated apple juice, essentially. First time I ever had it was actually in Mexico out of a glass bottle when I was down there on a mission trip. Fell in love with them. Like, they do sell this in the States, right? And they're like, yeah, you just gotta find it. I think Pepsi is the one that's responsible for it now.
Getting it out amongst us.
It is nice. It's one of those, like, let's usher in the fall kinds of flavors. You know, it's got some apples, some cinnamon in there.
Yeah.
Just a nice little blend.
I feel like a little goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not one of those that you're going to sit there and, like, you know, chug a 6-pack of.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a sipping soda.
Yeah. That's that kind. Definitely.
Nice for a long draw, you know? We're here for a long time. And a good time.
I just got this picture of like an old grandpa sitting on a porch swing. And, bring grandpa a sipping soda.
Bring me my sipping soda. That's actually fantastic. I'm going to be that grandpa. I'm like a floating rocker. It's rocking still, but it still floats off the ground because this is the future.
I feel like you're going to have to be whittling at some point.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. If I'm sitting on a front porch, there will be whittling.
Yeah.
It will be happening.
And spinning yarns.
I'll have my own. I'll be like selling on my porch my own collection of Pinewood Derby cars.
Yeah. Then you're telling your neighbor about, don't forget you missed a spot on his trimmings there or something. You're just calling shots from the porch.
Yellow spot on the lawn out there. Hang on. You Got to take care of that.
That's right. Get you some. He just throw out. Get you some old wives' tale thing. Get you an onion and the foot of a rooster, and just rub it on that spot. It'll go. It'll be just fine.
Hi, I'm Old Man Smalls with Old Man Smalls sipping soda.
Man, that doesn't sell a product.
I'm
I don't know
telling
what
you,
does.
you really gotta put your whole body into it. You know?
Yes. Well, happy Friday, everybody.
Yes.
We made it to Friday.
We did.
We got a lot. It's like I called it last time, the gateway to a busy time.
Hell?
No, because we got fair preview starts here. Of course, Football Friday here. We got, of course, a bevy of other events at the Hall of Fame's going on Saturday.
Red Dirt, Black Gold tomorrow.
Black Gold tomorrow in Artesia. This is a bevy of stuff.
Shopping, by the way, for that starts at 11. The downtown merchants and stuff. The event itself, the beer garden itself, and all the concerts start at 4, and it's $10 for if you're 21 and older. 20 and under, it's absolutely free. So as soon as you pay to get in the venue, you are in the beer garden. You can grab a beverage, take it with you wherever you want inside the venue. And so it's free range this year.
Okay.
It went from a block party to a pub crawl.
Okay. So once you're in the corridor.
In the the event space.
But then it's free range.
Yep. And a great lineup of entertainment too. RedDirtBlackGold.com if you want more info, by the way.
Excellent. Very good. So yeah, lots of happenings. So definitely get on out there. Of course, like I mentioned in the last hour, we'll have all the football action for you here. So get out to the stadiums, and if you can't be there, we'll have it for you, a video and on the radio. So
absolutely.
There's something else I was going to mention. It just lead away.
I stumbled down a little rabbit hole yesterday.
Okay.
I think I've mentioned them on the air before, but when I was a kid, we went to some random church in Ardmore one night, and
we were just driving and said, "Ooh, there's a random church stop there."
It was an event that was sponsored by my church in Medill.
Oh, look, a random church. Let's visit.
It was an event with a group called the Power Team.
Ooh,
you ever heard of the Power Team?
I got a feeling. Is this kind of like? They do feats of strength for God kind of thing.
Did you ever watch? I believe Righteous Gemstones.
Oh,
they
I am very well versed in the Righteous Gemstones. They made
fun of it pretty solidly.
Yeah, they have a great team on that.
But the Power Team was started in the 70s, and it was a huge deal in the 80s and early 90s. But it was this group of dudes who went around to local churches, and the only way they were funded was through tithes at the end of, they would have a love offering at the end of their shows. And that was what kept them on the road. That was what kept them. They eventually got TV deals and some other stuff.
Kind of school bus or something. Yeah.
But it was started when a guy showed the leader of this group how to break out of a pair of handcuffs. So he learned that trick, and then they started doing other tricks, feats of strength, exactly like you're talking about. Ripping phone books in half.
Yeah. Bending the frying pan.
Bending the frying pan was a big one.
Yeah.
Their signature, though, was blowing up hot water bottles.
Okay.
Like balloons.
Uh-huh.
They would have the whole team get on stage, and they would have a contest, essentially, so you could blow these up until they would explode. And as I'm reading this article, this is the one stunt that most of them got all of their injuries from.
Okay, the hot water bottles?
Was the hot water bottles, because these things...
Sounds like exploding hot water.
Well, it's not hot. They're not filled, but it's that thick rubber.
Oh, okay.
If you know a hot water bottle that I'm talking about, those red, the ones that old people used to keep by their feet.
Yeah, they might be mistaken for another product.
Yeah, that is true. that is very true. It is not that.
Comes in a bag form.
Although the cup is ergonomic. You know what? Never mind. But they would blow these up until they exploded, and the rubber would snap back in their faces. They would get lacerations. They would get at one point, I think one of them broke their orbital bone.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, the snap back with his hand or something. He broke his orbital bone. But they would do that. They would do the cement blocks where they would break them with their bare hands. The big one at the end, their big main event, was the bed of nails.
Oh.
And they would have one guy lay on a bed of nails and usually have a board on top of him and then another dude lifting weights on top of it. It's pretty intense, but it was all because Jesus gave him the strength. So I'm getting in this whole rabbit hole of Power Team. Come to find out, the dude who started the whole organization was a big old womanizer. He had like 6 different relationships over the course of like 10 years.
That does not surprise me at all.
He was basically like using the group as like a Rolodex. He'd go to all these different cities and have like, stops in these different places. But
imagine a team that goes around traveling, doing odd things in the name of God.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wonder why, if they really like that, they didn't do it in other ways. And then they wonder why they just,
And here's the thing.
Yeah, it all doesn't
When
fit.
I was a kid, they were amazing.
Yeah.
They were superstars, But now, having the sensibility I have now, knowing you don't get bodies like that without steroids.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, or human growth hormone or something. So,
Yeah. I feel like these are guys that got rejected from the WWF.
it's one of those things that's hard to. No, I think these were the guys that got rejected from American Gladiators. That's how low on the totem pole these dudes fell. Like Blazer and Taser over there.
Like the Toy League. Like, nah, we're good.
But this was a huge deal for me when I was a kid. I was such a fan of the Power Team. I had like the T-shirt. I was like, I got a couple of their videos through like order through the phone or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was a huge Power Team fan back in the day. And then you find out, how far your heroes have fallen. It's just so sad. Don't ever look up your heroes, kids. You're not gonna like what you find. Just throwing that out there.
Well, I'm sure if even if you went up a tier and went and look at Blazer and Taser and Phaser and all them from American Gladiators, right. I'm sure they're all way different.
Blazer, Taser, and Phaser are really the Aiden, Jaden, and Braden of today now.
Hazer got phased out.
Hazer did get phased. And we don't even talk about Phaser. He was hazed. Phaser was hazed and Hazer got phased out. Whoa, that is a hard sentence to say.
And Blazer kept getting high and missing the events. Sorry, I could go all night with these. Grazer got too fat.
Grazer was
Grazer got lost.
It was a indulgence was really what took him out.
Yeah. And then there was Ron. No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody forgets about Flavor Flazer.
And then it just got ridiculous at the end. There was Space Sazer. Microwaver. This is a bunch of weird ones. And I'm spent. All right, we're going to move on.
There's the ground.
All right, it is 9:16. Let's get the hour going. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got a good-looking weekend coming up. Temperatures will be a little on the warm side. We have that strong high-pressure system staying put. Doesn't look like it'll be moving anywhere anytime soon. We're expecting low to mid-90s for the afternoon high today, and will stay sunny. Overnight, low 60s and clear, and then right around the 90-degree mark both Saturday and Sunday, a little bit breezy and sunny. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 69 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 42%. Winds are out of the north at 6 miles per hour. Sunny today and a high of 95 expected. Winds will be out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 62 degrees. East winds at around 5 miles per hour for the weekend. Saturday, sunny, 92 for a high tomorrow. Winds out of the northeast at around 5 miles per hour. Clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 66 degrees. Oh, 60, I'm sorry. Bad vision. Sunday, we're looking at sunny with a high of 91. And then Sunday night, clear, overnight low of 60. And then with Monday and the official start of the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, expect sunny skies and a high of 95 degrees. But Tuesday, we're dropped down into 88 and then back. We kind of settle into the week around 90 for the rest of the week there. All right, 9:17, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and then we will talk with Travis Hicks on the other side here, talking all about next week's Eastern New Mexico State Fair. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Check out some of the 99-cent bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Select varieties of banquet pot pies are 99 cents each, and select bags of Food Club frozen vegetables are also 99 cents each. In produce, large Honeycrisp apples are 99 cents a pound, and Roma tomatoes are also 99 cents a pound. In the meat department, boneless, skinless chicken breasts are $2.99 a pound, and family packs of bone-in sirloin cut pork chops are 99 cents a pound. These are just some of the 99-cent bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
At the end of the Apostle Paul's life, he wrote these words, "I've fought the good fight, I've finished the race, I've kept the faith. Now there is in store for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord the righteous judge will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but to all who have longed for his appearing. There's a lot of craziness in our world these days. However, for those who have accepted the saving grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, we know that the next life will be full of perfect peace. After living a life trying to destroy followers of Christ, the Lord spoke to Paul and changed his life's work to preaching the saving grace of Jesus. He truly fought the good fight from that point on. He had lived through persecution, prison, and even peril, yet was ready in the end to meet God's judgment, knowing that he had done what God had called him to do. You too can have that same assurance that even though this world is a mess, if you answer the call of God, you can face judgment with peace. Do you want to find that peace? Join us to learn how.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is your one-stop shop for farm and ranch supplies in southeastern New Mexico, with a friendly, knowledgeable team that can help you find the answer to your problems. With brands you know, including Preferred, Pearson, Purina, High Pro Feeds, Ariat, Wrangler, Cinch, Justin Boots, and more. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a proud supporter of area sports, 4-H, FFA, and the farmers and ranchers of tomorrow. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd, celebrating being family-owned and operated for 50 years.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, not talking all about cars today, just we're sticking to fair talk today. Travis Hicks joined us here, talking Eastern New Mexico State Fair. Morning, Travis.
How are you, man?
Doing good. How about yourself? How's life treating you?
Great to see it. It's great.
Good.
Things are going really well.
Well, before we talk cars, or talk fair, how's life in the car business this morning? Everything going good over there?
It's good, man. It's actually surprisingly good. Usually election years are tougher than this one's been. I think we're still kind of slightly recovering. There were so many years there where the inventory was so low.
Sure.
I think the demand stayed pretty solid. So even though rates are a little high and there's some things in the market that make it tougher, people still need them. So,
sure. But life is much more closer to pre-COVID than it's been in a while.
Yeah,
anyway.
from an inventory standpoint, for sure. We've got some stuff on the ground, which is nice, and shops full. Some of that COVID supply chain hangover kind of stuff has made parts still kind of hard to get.
Sure.
That kind of thing, but we're busy. So
sure. Well, and everything's expensive in today's world.
Right.
So
if you found something cheap, you let me know, please.
Exactly. Which I'm going to call this a segue. Which makes a valid point. You're looking for a good time and lots of fun for your family. The Eastern Mexico State Fair you're going to get value for your buck there.
Well, we're chock full of fun, and
absolutely.
And my understanding from our meeting a couple nights ago is that we've got 15 more rides this year. We increased the square footage that the carnival occupies by quite a bit.
Excellent.
Really kind of in response to the massive lines that we've had in the past. Sometimes you go out there. Well, it's almost every night.
Sometimes you have to deal with the problems of your own success, and that's one of them.
It's working. So
yeah.
So that's cool. We're staying with the the music, the big stage.
Got a great run of entertainment this year. Little, kind of an eclectic mix for everyone. So everything from your diehard country fans to Taylor Swift fans.
That's right.
You've got
a little bit of everything.
Little bit of everything there. Of course, the weekly entertainment that's kind of going on daily with the magicians and the rocket, that's all going to be happening like years past.
Yeah, and then we've got Ranch Rodeo on the weekend again this year, which is fabulous. We got more teams. It looked like
more. I think there's more money. It's everything's kind of juiced up a little bit this year.
That's right. Yeah, Beer Garden going strong again. That's been kind of a hit, which is great. We've got more livestock entries than we had last year by sounded like 10 or 15%, which is fabulous. It just means the kids are in the.
Means these shows are going to be competitive and the kids are going to be working hard, which also means the Saturday Junior Livestock Auction will be that much more.
Deal. It's going to be a big deal.
Fast and furious.
No, that's right. It's going to be a big deal, and really, we feel like we've become kind of the de facto state fair. We have all the counties in the state represented at this fair.
I was talking with one of our guests earlier in the week about that, and I said, yeah, it's called the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, but really it's New Mexico State Fair too, because we have the first one here, and to be honest, there's competitors and vendors and participants from all corners of the state, not just the eastern side, certainly just not southeast New Mexico.
No, that's right. It literally every county in the state is represented generally in these at our event here, and that the state fair really is the only one that can say that. I think we really have a great mix of people, great kids, and fabulous livestock. So, that's our kind of our stated purpose. That's what the carnival.
Absolutely.
That's what the vendors. That's what all that stuff is about. It's really about us maintaining that place so that we can continue to have a place that supports agriculture, livestock in our community. So
and that's the beauty that I think, and this is just the history of the fair boards over the year and the people that have been a part of it. Certainly your Hobsons and those iconic names that we know there. We've had those great people doing this stuff over the years, and to me, that's a testament of what you're going to see next week. Everything that it's growth. And then, like you said, there's been a little bit of the changing of the guard here over the years. There's some older faces going on another phase in life. The new faces come in to take over, but it because of that tradition, because of the guidance, just kind of that mentorship. It really has been not only something that grows and gets better each year, but seamless and it gets smoother. There's a lot of moving parts to pull off a fair, but most people wouldn't realize how complicated that is because it really is. It's a seamless operation.
Well, it's not a seamless operation.
Well, it appears that way.
We try. We try really, really hard, and there's no doubt that the younger group of fair board members have added a lot of value to the operation in terms of just kind of bringing some of the things into the. Adrian's done a great job, and Jonathan Dudley. Believe it or not, we're getting to a place. I'm 15 years where I'm the old.
I'm about to say, you're kind of that old guard. You're that creamy middle.
That's right.
Where you're like, you're not new.
Yeah, but guys like Calder Zell and
you walk in that room and you're the young kid.
Yeah, and James Duffy and these guys have been around for a long, long time.
Sure. They've forgotten more than we probably know sometimes.
What they've done is they've brought the tradition forward, and all we're trying to do is continue to improve upon it, and we've been fortunate that the last number of years we've been able to do a lot of improvements out there that we think makes it easier to get around. Leprino's done us a great service over the last couple of years of contributing to more asphalt and things out there. I mean, I think people forget we're a not-for-profit. We don't make money out there. We pour every bit of what we positive cash flow off of this event into keeping the place open. And
absolutely,
making sure that we've got a future out there. So for our kids, and that's what it's about. But I think the carnival is going to be awesome this year.
It's, of course, the preview actually starts here this weekend,
that's
so you don't have to wait till Monday for the carnival.
That's right. They open early for the last few years, and I love that about this carnival. It just kind of gets people that maybe had something going next weekend and couldn't do it or whatever.
Yeah, and the fine folks at Wright's Amusement are back again to do all the rides and do all the entertainment.
And more rides, So again, the idea is the lines, it keeps the lines down a little bit more, spreads the action out, so it's kind of all over the place.
Well, it gives you more options too, because with them they bring some food vendors too, and so that kind of. That's another, the two big popularities, those rides and food, and they give you a lot of options and variety, so you got a good mix of what they have, plus our local flavor kind of mixed in there. So it gives you a lot of options, a lot of choices. So.
No, it's even if you don't go to, and I know this because there were 6 or 7 years that I was here in Roswell before I became a part of that board. So I just went to the fair, and the only time I went to the fair outside of the one night that we took our kids, rode all the rides, and
get the kids good and tired, send them home.
Yeah, had sugar highs and funnel cakes and things
Everybody's
like that.
Everybody's sick because they've ran many rides. Yeah.
But we would go as business people, in the community here. We'd go out there for lunch all the time. You'd be surprised how great of vendors we have. I mean, there's really some great food out there every single year. It seems like it gets better. So
I say this every year. This is a rule. It's a Murphy's Law or whatever it is. I say it. If you eat fair food at the fair, the calories don't count. But if you take the fair food off the fairgrounds, the calories double.
I think you're right.
You're
100%
that's a visual. So
the value at the fairs, if you walk around a little while, you're at least going to burn some of that.
Exactly. So
some of that turkey leg.
Double up on the funnel cakes and the corn dogs and whatever your burritos or whatever your favorite is out there, because you'll walk it off and work it off. You'll be fine.
That's right. I love it. You're on the team. You want to be on the board? We need a marketing guy. That sounds perfect.
That's the rules. But
come eat twice the calories as you should.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to walk it off.
Absolutely. And you can't miss. Don't support the 4-H kids. Get you an ice cream cone, too. Because you can't, whatever you're eating, you got to finish it off with ice cream.
That's exactly right. And we've got there's kind of a unique deal on Tuesday night. They're doing a Ride 'em Cowboys the special. And it's $25 for everybody to get in, but it includes an armband. And although the Eastern New Mexico State Fair hasn't gone up on our ticket price this year, the armbands are more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And so in comparison to other nights, it's really a pretty good deal, particularly for everyone who's
and that is actually that is the one night there's not a live concert.
Yeah,
so you can spend in theory more time riding the rides.
Yeah,
and
it's a ride night. That's what we kind of designed that for. Is save mom and dad a little bit of cash on the kids. They're gonna bang all the rides. So
and of course, don't forget with your admission into the fair, all the shows, all the concerts, everything short of the rides and what you put in your gullet is included into that fair price.
That's right. That's right. And we've got a lot of value there. We've got a lot of entertainment this week. We've got fabulous music every night. We got the ranch rodeo, which is always a ton of fun.
If you've never witnessed a ranch rodeo, it's because it's unique. It's not the bull riding but if you think there's lacking in the action, that's not true. But
personally, it's my preference. I don't get me wrong. I like all rodeo. It's a lot of
anytime
all rodeo
you
is cool. But
down. Yeah.
Ranch rodeo to me is the real practical value is pretty cool.
Well, it's the working ranch.
Yeah.
I mean they're basically these cowboys are doing the exact same types of things they'd be doing day to day on the ranch or the farm there. So so they compete in that, which. And don't get me wrong, when they're doing trailer loading and wild cow milk and all that, if you're bored, you got no.
That's what I was thinking about when you said that. When you said that, I thought, I wonder how many cowboys are milking wild. No, I don't think so.
But that's
you're right though.
So that to me, it's such a unique, cool thing to. And when because I like I said, I grew up in Maryland City, and I farm, and I'm like, Bob Evans down on the farm. I know about that, but you know what I mean? and so I saw Ranch Rodeo about, 15, 20 years ago the first time, and I was blown away by it.
They really do the World Finals in Amarillo, and I had a buddy who, had always been in it, and so for a number of years, I'd go up there to Amarillo once a year to the Worlds, and I mean, and I'm going to tell you, the guys that come to the Eastern New Mexico State, who are going to come to this Ranch Rodeo event out here, they're that quality, world quality. A bunch of these guys.
Absolutely, and with the prize monies being what it is, it tends to lure some of those folks that are because there's
you get a bunch of local yokels too. So we get some of our kids that we know that we watch growing up that go in against the guys who kind of do this a lot. So.
And then you get those ones that are some are up and coming. They're trying to get the circuit, trying to get into the pro ring, and so they're kind of earning their resume, so to speak. And then, like you said, but then it's got people that on Monday morning they're going to be at the ranch.
They're going to be working.
Doing what they're doing.
That's exactly.
So, but that'll be Friday and Saturday.
Hey, we went. Something else I was wanted to remind everybody. We went to Point of Sale a couple of years ago to where you can get them with a card now. So if there's a lot of people that end up dragging wads of cash out there every year,
but we are going
and
to
it spins. But we also have
society in itself is going cashless here. So.
Have the capacity to take cards to the gate. And
so whatever you prefer is we got you covered almost everywhere there too. But it's never a bad idea to keep a few 20s in your wallet. You never know.
I don't know that I've ever been without it. It's my 10-year-old.
Well, and plus you're gonna because you're gonna go through the commercial building and you're gonna visit and you're gonna see booths, and of course, if you want to get into a drawing for a gun. Walk through the commercial building of the Eastern Mexico State Fair. You will have no problems getting into a drawing.
There'll be a drawing for all sorts of things. Yeah, there will be. You're right.
I'm just telling you. I guarantee you that opportunity.
Have you ever won anything? I get all sorts of tchotchkes. I go through the bag.
I've never won the big one. I've won like a few side things.
Yeah, like a Yeti or something.
Yeah, like I think the biggest win I've had in anything like that was when the Chamber of Commerce does their business after hours sometimes, and they do like everyone puts $1 in it. I won that one time.
Nice.
So I got like $40 and a bunch of cards. That was a big win.
Well, hey, listen, if it was all probability, I'd have won all sorts of stuff because I get into everything I can think of.
You do the science, you'll science it up?
No. I just generally don't win.
Just bad luck.
Nature of the game.
But then you get those people that they'll math it out, and you're just like, man, God bless you. But
I'm scared of those guys.
But Fair Week is going to be a lot of fun. Come on. They're on Wednesday. They're going to be doing Senior Day there. I don't remember off the top of my head the certain hours there, but they're going to have. It's the afternoon there, like 3 to 6 or something. It's something in that ballpark.
I think it's before it opens and afternoon. So I want to say maybe 1 to 5 or something.
Yeah, it's something in that ball. Tell you what, for everything we botch, go to enmsf.com and you can find the schedule. You can find all the information.
That's right.
It was fair times, show times, entertainment. I know you might be a little late to the ball game here on Friday, but if you've got stuff to turn in and all that neat information, that's where you'll find it.
Yep,
the Fair
right.
Book and all that.
Website is the Fair Book's on the website. Most all the stuff that could have been entered has already been entered, so not much there. I think livestock is coming in Sunday morning. We're not accepting a livestock on Saturday, so.
But I know, I think baked goods and all that kind of stuff's already starting.
Yeah,
to come
it's
in
already
today.
starting rolling. The arts and crafts, it takes them long enough,
to judge it.
And that's another thing everyone needs to check out. I mean, if you haven't seen so much local talent, it's incredible over there. And arts and crafts start setting up like a week before the event.
And that's the thing is because they got to get all that stuff judged and all that by Monday. So when the fair opens, you walk in the education building, you see the blue ribbons and who won and all that good stuff.
No, they do a great job of that. That's another big deal.
And I'm going to tell everybody through personal experience, being asked to be a judge for the baked goods or the eating side of things on paper sounds amazing.
It does.
And for about the first third of it,
you mean before your diabetic coma?
It's pretty amazing, but you hit a wall and you're like, oh boy.
Whoa, blood sugar.
And so all I'm saying is if you're asked to do it, just think for a minute before you immediately say yes.
I think it's a 24-hour fast. That's the only way you handle it.
You got to prep and prepare. That's all I'm saying. But it is pretty cool. But that is something we always talk about in the fair, and I've tried to been kind of mention this when we talk about the livestock shows and stuff. But yeah, we want the families to come out. We want you to ride all the rides. We want you to come to the concerts. We want you to go to the rodeo. We want you to go and do all the entertainment side of the fair. But please do not leave those fairgrounds with making your way over to the livestock ring and checking out a livestock show. And certainly do not leave without walking through that education building and seeing the amazing talent of children, adults from all over the state. I challenge you. You'll walk in and see like some of the artwork and things, and you'll look, that's amazing. And then you look close, and an 8-year-old did it. And you're like, whoa.
That's right.
And then, of course, and plus there's so much other stuff there, the model railroaders, that's kind of a tradition there. They've been going and gearing up for the fair here. Usually that's like if you want to see the pumpkin growing, that's kind of one of the big,
big
offshoots of the fair, the
yeah.
pumpkin growing contest. That's where those big gelatinous bad boys sit.
I'm going to tell you, they take that seriously, man.
It's cutthroat.
The guys the people who enter that, they're after it.
I mean, it's all fun and it's a good time for everybody. But they are very serious.
Until you start having to bring them in with forklifts.
Yeah, and it's like I think military level security in some places on information about this. It gets serious, but come see the fun from that too. That's all in the education building.
Man, we're blessed to have lots and lots of talent, lots and lots of good food, lots and lots of entertainment, and then some really our core purpose is the support of animal husbandry and agriculture and
that's why we're here.
Yeah, and if you don't get through to see the animals, you almost don't remember. When you come through the gate and you give us an entry fee, what you're doing is supporting our ability to make sure that those kids have a place to show and that they have a place to learn some of the things that really southeastern Mexico is about.
Absolutely, the fair, and this you were talking earlier about Leprino and many of these other.
Yeah, the list is long.
I mean. Farm and ranch industry businesses that partner in it. They support this because they too understand the importance of what the fair is.
Oh, that list is long. I picked Leprino because I was talking about the asphalt, but I mean, we got KC Light Tower that gives us, they're out of Artesia, they're not even here, that gives us $10,000 or $15,000 worth of light towers and generators and stuff every year just to help out. We've got, we get massive support from XL Energy, who every time we need something out there finds a way to make it, as cheap as it
they prioritize you. Because usually it's an emergency.
No, right. It's an old facility, so they've helped us a lot. I mean, none of this happens without the partnerships that we have in the community.
But they do it because they understand. And this is kind of, and I'm getting a little soapboxy here, but you think about the world as a whole here, and the farming and ranching industry has got probably the biggest problem of any other problem industry, in the world here, because we have more people on the planet and less people producing food.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that's a problem now, wait 20 years from now when there's probably going to be more people, less food, and bigger problems here. Guess who's going to be the folks that are going to be figuring those problems out? It's those kids showing animals
that's right.
sitting in those rings. It's those people that are doing that kind of stuff. And so for us to give them every bit of what we got to help them navigate these challenges ahead, that's why we go out here.
Well,
and
it's
do all
it's
this.
who we all were, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you go back far enough, 90% of the world or of America was agricultural. It was back before we relied on someone else to make, gather, and market food to us, right?
Sure.
I mean, and that's probably a 3-hour section one of these days to talk about how that's all played itself out, but none of it can be done without the producers, right?
Absolutely.
So there's a whole lot less of them, like you said. There's a whole lot more people. There's a lot of regulation and difficulties to making it work and doing it right. And if you don't keep bringing some of these kids up with that skill set and with that understanding or whatever, then it's going to make it harder and harder and harder as the world grows.
So that's why, yes, we want to have fun and we want to celebrate, and that it's a party. That's what it is. We're celebrating the farming and ranching, but at the same time, that's why it's so important to support these kids and stuff. Because they're corny pun aside, they're our future.
And we get a little bit of support from the Roswell Police, but we get tons of support from the sheriffs. I mean, they're out there. They set up out there all week long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's safe. It's a safe environment.
Probably good segue here. That's, the thing.
Mountain Patrol comes out and helps us out.
Absolutely. They do amazing. And here's the thing. I mean, yes, some officers get paid and, but a lot of time volunteer their time out there and, go out there and hang out and make a presence.
The way the sheriffs always said it to us is like, some significant percentage of the county is there that at night, at least 1 or 2 nights, sometimes more, every week.
Absolutely.
So why not have a presence there? They anticipate that they're gonna, if they're gonna have issues, that some of it's maybe
and let's face it, the largest population of people in the county that given time is probably right there on the eastern New Mexico State Fair.
That's right. So it's always been a very practical thing in their minds, if we use police, we have to pay them, and if we use, and we have some private security. But the point is, it's covered up. It's just covered up out there with all sorts of fire and ambulance and whatever. So it's the safest place to be in the in the county too.
And that's another thing. And I've kind of tried to mention this in all of our interviews and want to do that. Just kind of a pro tip for families and things out there to help. Getting to your point about security and everything, they have amazing protocols and procedures for lost children and things like that, and it's a guarantee. Every single fair, there's at least one time where a kid gets separated.
Yeah,
we have to have
it happens every time.
Do the protocol. So, and they've got
we've got that drilled down to about like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean I would say on average when it happens within 5 minutes, that child is located.
Oh yeah.
But to kind of help,
but within 30 seconds, we've got the gates blocked. No one's leaving.
They
the
lock
property.
down. There's
it's a whole deal.
And but to kind of help, maybe enhance and expedite that process, since we live in the world where we're carrying smartphones and stuff, I always recommend, especially your younger kids, maybe not your 17-year-old, but your younger kids. Take a picture of them right before they go on the fair. Whatever clothes they're wearing, whatever.
It's a great idea.
Hey, you got your 7-year-old or whatever, and they're wearing their Captain America T-shirt or whatever. Put them and that way, if that incident happens, because it's easy, you get in the commercial building, someone stops.
I lost my 8-year-old son out there.
I think every parent has had that moment at some point in their life here. That way, when you say they're missing, we can point and say, here's a picture, this is what they're wearing, and that actually does help speed up that process.
Well, and the cool thing is we are just chock full of volunteers, not just our board members who are all there all week, but not just the board members, but all of the livestock superintendents and the people that volunteer in the vendor and the band boosters that do the gates we've got a couple hundred people out there every night whose only job is to make sure that place stays safe and that everybody's having a good time.
The people in the crow's nest, so to speak, just keeping an eye on.
We're paying attention. Yeah. We're paying attention, and so I'm real proud of the product that we have out there. I'm proud of what we do it for, and I think it's something that everybody in Roswell ought to do at least one night this week or this coming week for their kids' sake, if for nothing else, or for the kid in them. Right?
Absolutely. Just get out and have a good time.
There's a new big ride, and the question's already out there. Who's going to ride the big ride? And I'm like, I don't know. I think I may ride the big ride. I might do it. I mean,
they're going to push you to the front of the line?
I guess so.
I got to ask you personally.
Yeah.
Because, you spend a lot of time out at the fairs. Over the years, there's got to be like a certain food, like you're like, I'm not leaving this week without having at least one of these.
Yeah. So it was, for a long time, it was kind of the same thing. I went to St. John's, and the church had a deal there. And I just, they used to do lunches too in the business community or whatever. And they always just had a couple of things that I just absolutely love. But I tell you what's happened to me in the last few years is, birria has become a thing, right? Okay. And so there's 2 or 3 vendors out there that do birria, tacos, or they have birria quesadillas.
Yeah, it's kind of a new, trend. Is that
I think it's definitely trendy. You see it all over the place now, but I've gotten to where I look forward to having birria at least a couple times that week.
So you kind of go, all right, who's got the good, kind of from time to time.
It's hard for me to pass.
You can't go wrong with that. And to be honest, that's my biggest problem is I'll get something and then I walk like, dang, I should have got that.
That's right. I also have a very, very special soft place in my heart for those little donuts.
Oh yeah,
golly, that's like crack cocaine. At 11 o'clock at night, we've been out there since 5, or some of us have been out there since the morning.
Oh yeah,
whatever, and everything's kind of closing down. It's the end of the night, and you're like, should we get some donuts?
Sure.
Yeah, you got to get some donuts.
Hey, it's after the night of partying, it's going to hit in the diner at 2 in the morning. It's that same thing.
Donuts. Diabetic coma, baby. Here I come.
But and for me, I kind of flip flop, but my go-to is the ice cream stand. Every single time I'm like, and if I don't get a cone, I'll get a shake. I always, because I'm just I'm kind of an ice cream problem. I'm a little bit.
A little bit of an ice cream problem.
A little bit. I might need to go to a meeting.
Hey, wipe your chin.
Might have to talk to some people about it. But that's kind of my go-to. But I don't. And to me, I kind of like to try to find the oddest thing. Because it's the fair.
Almost every year there's something new. We go a lot of years where a lot of the food is the same. The same people or whatever. But like there was a stir fry guy that came in last year. Or I say stir fry. It was more like
island
noodles.
More
like noodles.
Yeah, island noodles. I think. Yeah, that was delicious.
That was the first time I'd ever had that. That was really good.
That was kind of a different fare. Like you're used to eating things on sticks. So that was kind of a unique.
Yeah, thing, and it was easy. It was easy to carry. It was easy to eat. Yeah. There was also. What was the other one? There was a Jamaican deal last year that was like, that was just
they were doing like jerk chicken.
Total surprise. Total surprise. Like really, really. So every year there's something new. So I always hit the new ones just to see what they're about.
But it depends on how many days you're out there, because then you got like, okay, I've been here. I better
every
hit
one of them.
Every one of them. I got to hit one of my locals here. I got to hit, and so and then at some point you're just all right. And here's another weird fair factoid for me. I like lemonade. I don't drink it very often, but I seem to drink more per capita during the week of a fair than any other time of the year.
That's so good.
It is. I love
Have you ever watched them make it?
A little bit, yeah. I've seen them in there, and the squeezing the lemon.
Bro, no. It's like they've got it down to a disease, to an absolute machine.
Yeah.
And it's just lemons and sugar and water. That's it. That's all it is.
The simple basics.
Oh yeah.
And it hits different.
Oh, it's good.
But then on that same note, I always got to hit the wagon wheel thing and get my little sarsaparilla jobber in the can too.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing. I think almost every Chavez County, and at least maybe Southeast New Mexican, has one of those tin cups that you got from the wagon in their cabinet at their house.
That's right. The plastic ones get broken, get lost.
But those
hang
tin
around.
cups.
Yeah. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Excellent. But just all the time here. Please, if you have any questions or information, check out the Eastern New Mexico State Fair's website. It's the initials enmsf.com.
Yeah.
One thing I always, if you haven't already, make sure you like and follow the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. I know Facebook, I believe Instagram. I'm not sure about other social medias, but I know those are the two. Those I highly recommend you like and follow. Just all year long to keep up to date with stuff, but particularly during Fair Week, it's live events, live things happen outdoors. Sometimes events get moved around or postponed due to weather. Anytime those types of things happen, they put them on social media first. So
looks like we're gonna have marvelous weather too.
I think you're right. Knocking on wood here, but I don't think weather's going to be an issue in terms of that kind of worrying about concerts or rodeos or anything like that. So, but if there's anything that happens like that, or something happens, they had to move something to something else, that's the first place they put it up.
Yep.
So. Good deal. Travis, is there anything you wanted to mention or anything you wanted to cover?
Just looking forward to seeing everybody out at the fair. It's going to be a great year.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and come out this weekend for free preview. And then, barely mentioned this, officially 10 a.m. The parade starts on Monday here. The parade route is the same. However, the one big difference this year is the judges aren't stationed at the courthouse lawn like normally. They're going to be
scattered amongst the crowd. Yeah.
So if you're doing performances and things, don't feel obligated to do them on basically right in front of the courthouse there. Anywhere along the parade route from starting up by the Wool Bowl down to around Aspen or whatever they wrap up.
So NEMI's kind of like they're like the professional paraders, right? And that for years NEMI's told us real parades don't stop. that's what they've told us for years.
That's true.
And so and it takes a long time to get all that stuff through.
This
through
is
town,
the biggest parade in Roswell. I mean, no bones about it. There's no other parade in Roswell that is bigger than the Eastern Mexico State Fair. They fill the entire Wool Bowl with floats and everything.
Fabulous.
It's amazing. So when you've got 100+ moving parts, sometimes it's hard to get them to all move at the same time.
You talk to Adrienne about that. Adrienne's the parade queen.
She is the wrangler of the parade.
She's a monster. And I asked her the other night, I was like, hey, when are you gonna train someone else to do that? And she's like, oh, I don't know if I can. I don't know.
Just gotta find someone willing.
I think that's half the problem.
But and if you might get a dirty look, but I think she said if you get her stuff by like the end of the day today, she can still get you in the parade.
Okay, well, hey.
I think I heard her say that to me like Tuesday or whatever day that was. So
as long as she didn't think I said it, that's all good.
I think it came out of her own mouth. I'm just repeating it.
I don't need to be in trouble.
Yeah, I think I did, unless I misheard it. But Travis, as always, appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. All right.
Talk to you soon.
And it is 9:51. Man, this time. What happened this morning? It just zipped by. All right, let's get you up to date with news and a quick break before we wrap up the show. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. As the state of New Mexico reports $1.3 billion in cannabis sales since it became legal, some pot shops are being forced to close amid so-called oversaturation. Some business owners say too many stores have killed the market and the lawmakers need to temporarily pause new licenses. Last week, it was revealed that Minerva Canna and Sacred Garden, two legacy operators that have been part of the New Mexico marijuana landscape since before adult use legalization, are permanently closing. BLM has announced a public comment period on a proposed Cowboy Solar project. The project claims to be able to produce up to 200 megawatts of renewable energy on about 2,500 acres in Eddy County. A virtual meeting is scheduled for October 3rd from 5 to 6 p.m. There will be a presentation on the proposed overall project, an overview of the analysis of land suitability, and a question and answer session after. You do need to register if you'd like to attend. With your local news update, I'm Jared Sorello.
Your morning espresso starts right here. It's the Sean Hannity Morning
Maybe somebody
Minute.
can explain what the hell this means, that we need to look holistically at the connection between housing and government incentives.
And looking holistically at the connection between that and housing.
and looking holistically at the incentives we in the federal government can create for local and state governments to actually engage in planning in a holistic manner that includes prioritizing affordable housing for working people.
What the hell is she talking about holistically? We have a housing shortage in the country. Now, I say this, if you want to eliminate the housing shortage, maybe one way to do it is not allow 11 million unvetted illegal immigrants in. But I'm just saying.
The Sean Hannity Show from coast to coast later today.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. The defense held the Giants to 5 field goals and got a game-saving interception as the final seconds ticked down in last night's 20-15 win. Details after this.
A true Dallas Cowboys fan is there for the journey and the destination. This is the season to make your journey count by flying through McAllen International Airport, the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. Whether you're flying down for McAllen's award-winning fall and holiday festivals, or you're a South Texas fan flying up to cheer the Cowboys on, make your journey as satisfying as your destination at the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. McAllen International Airport, above, beyond, at McAllenAirport.com.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
About 10 hours before kickoff last night, Cowboys practice squad cornerback Amani Oruwariye found out he'd been elevated to the active roster. And with 15 seconds left in the game and Dallas nursing a 5-point lead, Oruwariye saved the game with an interception. The Cowboys escaped New York with a 20-15 win at the Giants. Post-game, the newest Cowboy reflected on his debut starring role in the Big Apple.
In my mind, if the ball's in the air, it's 100-0 me, not a 50-50 ball. I'm trying to go get it. I've been doing it since college. I feel confident in my ball skills. So once I saw they threw the ball up in the air, I just saw it as an opportunity to play.
There are injury concerns coming out of the win. All-Pro Micah Parsons was carted off the sideline in the fourth quarter with an ankle injury. With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got a good-looking weekend coming up. Temperatures will be a little on the warm side. We have that strong high-pressure system staying put. Doesn't look like it'll be moving anywhere anytime soon. We're expecting low to mid-90s for the afternoon high today, and will stay sunny. Overnight, low 60s and clear, and then right around the 90-degree mark both Saturday and Sunday. A little bit breezy and sunny. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. The Federal Reserve's preferred inflation measure provided the latest sign that price pressures are easing, a trend that's expected to fuel further Fed interest rate cuts. Prices rose just 0.1% from July to August, down from the previous month's 0.2 increase. Compared with a year ago, inflation fell to 2.2%, down from 2.5% the previous month, and barely above the Fed's 2% inflation target. Costco dipped a modest 1% pre-market. The bulk grocery warehouse club reported sales that missed expectations. Benchmark U.S. crude oil picked up 30 cents to $67.97 per barrel. Brent crude, the international standard, added 22 cents to 71.31 per barrel. Despite the small gains, oil prices are down more than 4% for the week. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Here in Roswell, we work hard for our money. That's why it's important to spend our money wisely. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. When I walk through our store, I'm really impressed with the furniture we sell. It's so beautiful and so comfortable you could just feel the quality. This is furniture you'll be proud of for years to come. Furniture that your family will enjoy every day. Furniture that will last and last. Get the most from your hard-earned money. Come see us at Glenn's Furniture, where delivery is free since 1953.
Are you ready to succeed? Earn your FFA certification through ENMU Roswell's Aviation Maintenance Technology Program. ENMU Roswell has the only FFA Part 147 airframe and power plant school in Southeast New Mexico. Receive commercial and general aviation training, hands-on training with operation aircraft, Boeing commercial experience, advanced composite repair training, and more. And ENMU Roswell offers in-state tuition for veterans too. Learn more about this exciting program on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio is KEND Roswell.
And it's 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have an amazing weekend. Lots of stuff going on, and get out there and get a part of it. Take care. We'll talk to you bright and early Monday morning. Have a great weekend.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Hurricane Helene weakened into a tropical storm over Georgia earlier today after making landfall overnight in northwestern Florida as a Cat 4 storm. Authorities rescued people trapped by floodwaters, and more than 3 million customers are in the dark across much of the southeastern U.S. At least 6 deaths have been reported. Airports in Florida that were closed due to Helene are expected to reopen later today. Mayor Eric Adams could appear in court today following a federal indictment.
It would be the first